Live on Sunday night, it is Clarke Industries, Bostic Enterprises, the original BE, Brocktv, and DC Soap Sanctuary Productions. How you guys doing? We're discussing the gates today. Well, we're discussing all the soaps, but
Yeah.
we're here for the gates.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be a little biased today. Fuck every other show right now. I'm gonna be honest.
Ooh,
So
okay,
first,
we
let's
going
start with
up.
the gates because that's the biggest thing on people's mind right now today. Is let's start with the gates. Is first we want to know episode 1. What was it that drew you in, and what were some things that maybe drew you out? And I'm gonna start this off with Clarke Industries.
Okay, what drew me in on episode 1 was Danny throwing the mugs. I knew that she was going to be a firecracker from that, and then I could not wait throughout the whole episode. I knew she was going to end up punching Haley in the face. And I'm just like, will you punch her already? Will you punch her already? Like, cause like the nerve of Haley talking about, oh, well, yeah, I know she probably poisoned the whole town against me. Have you lost your damn mind? You stole this woman's husband. Like you act like see, Haley and Bill are getting off easy from compared to how I would be. Like I said it in my stream, I'll say it again now. There's no way in the hell any guy or woman that I've been with gets to get away with screwing me over like that. After I gave you 30 years, I don't care if I gave you 3 months of my life. You're not about to play with me like this and then act like I'm not going to get you. I'm going to get you every single day. I'm going to find a way to get you, okay? Whether I got to pull an Ava Jerome, start tampering with some medication, start tampering with some brake lines, whether I got to, like I'm just saying, and then especially if they're happy, especially if they moved on with someone good looking and happy. Like hell no, that's really not gonna slide.
So they gotta be ugly in order for it to suffice.
Exactly, I gotta be ugly, or I gotta have moved on with somebody else. When I'm in my thought
if that
mode,
person's ugly, will you leave them in peace then?
right now I'm celibate right now, so therefore I'm waiting to find the right person, and then before that happens. But in the meantime, if she or he wasted my damn time, there's no way in the world I'm gonna let them be happy together. Absolutely not. It just don't go down like that. But also, episode 1, Naomi the Freak. Look, I loved it when she brought up them little handcuffs. I was like, all right, that's my type of girl. Okay, I know me and Naomi will be having a whole lot of fun. So I'm here for Naomi and all her attitude. I love it. She's spicy. She's sexy. She and Danny, they could do no wrong in my eyes. I stand on that one. And she need to punch Haley again and slap Bill at least 5 more times.
All right.
Rock, what about you?
Honestly, I wasn't tuned out of a damn thing. Nothing turned me off about this show. Not a damn thing. Everything on this show was fire. I was drawn in literally from Nicole driving into the country club. I was tuned in. Just that alone tuned me in right there. Because you got real, yeah, it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. Like the whole aesthetics of it was just gorgeous. Like you see all that greenery, all the sun, the nice car, the music playing. It was like a really good vibe to it. It was a dope vibe to it. Everything about this show that I've seen week 1, day 1 has been phenomenal. Like everything. I didn't really have a complaint about a damn thing. Not one complaint. Like the Duprees, I'm a rock with them probably for life.
Okay. Albert, what about you?
Now, I've said this before, and y'all already know my favorite character because, I like Drew. So, of course, I like Bill. And Haley's just hot. So, that just sold me alone. But just, I don't know. It just felt different.
Of the shows, but go ahead.
I do. I like messy characters. But it was just something different, though. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much of a different transition watching The Gates and then watching General Hospital. It just feels like a breath of fresh air.
Yet you had the nerve to come at Danny Ramalotti, that great man. But yet you want to talk about your condoning going through. But yet you came at Danny Ramalotti, who is a good man and was sexually assaulted by that Amazon Phyllis, but you don't care about that. Okay, that Phyllis raped my boy back in the day. You don't care about nothing about that, but you want to talk about that Bill is a good man. Okay, Bill and Drew are good men. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
But
just say this: what I've noticed is that I
And
wasn't
we're
drawn
still,
in
and we're
episode
still,
one. I'll be honest. Episode 2 was when I was drawn in, and I really enjoyed it. I will say though, there were times that Bill actually felt very human to me as a character. Like I felt for Danny, but at the same time, I'm like, when she said to him, like, how, oh, I forgave your cheating because I thought that was the best thing for you. I was like, sis, like, this is why you guys are at where you're at. You know what I mean? Because I even said in my reviews, I felt like, Danny stopped giving Bill something to respect. And Haley gives him that. Because she threw herself out before the wedding. She's like, we can still have something. I'm like, after you moved on your daughter's best friend. And even he said, oh, sis, you're kind of pathetic right now. Like, I really love you and I care for you at one point in time, but you got to move on. And I was like, it humanized him for a moment because he still has a love for Danny. You can see that, but it's like, he's like, sis, like, you need to love yourself. Like, he could tell like, in that moment. So it's like Bill was still this Bill Hamilton, which I like to think of him as like the light-skinned EJ Demera, but
now my thing with that is though, like Bill is a 5 at best, while Danny, my girl Danny, is at least an 8.5. But my thing is, why I understand her is she's not trying to waste her investment. She invested 30 years with this man, and everything that he got is because of her. So therefore, now you think that you're just about to leave her for this little young tramp that's going to take all your money in about a year or two. Like how in reality,
that's the thing, though. But that's the thing, because she
your
stopped
money.
giving when
That
people
was
don't
her
stay with
money.
somebody they don't respect, though, unless they have something they need from them, and she doesn't
Yeah,
need nothing no more for her anymore. So no
exactly.
respect and no need. She's
What
gone.
she needs from him is a return on the investment, because clearly, um, he
What about the
ain't.
kids you gave her?
Man, don't nobody care about the look. Well, actually, I do care about Naomi and Chelsea. I like them. Don't nobody give a damn about them damn kids. Or hell no, he gonna give me more than that. Like, there's no way in hell you can't use that kids as an excuse for me. That would not fly with me. I'm just
Well,
telling you.
I mean, they ain't kids no more. They're
Exactly.
grown now.
There's actually no kids on the show, if you guys notice.
Yeah, there's not.
There's no kids on. Everybody's grown.
Hey, you know what?
We're still waiting for the 15 and 16-year-old to start, right?
Yeah, they're teenagers, but that's still practically grown though. You know what I mean? Like, we have no
True.
babies on the show,
Exactly.
which I love. I actually love that. I love everybody started out grown, damn near grown. You know what I'm saying? High school still. I love it. There's no babies. That's good.
It's not like
To
that was
me.
intentional on the writer's part to make everybody kind of grown, and there's
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
there's no babies, no toddlers coming in the mix. Which
That's
Martin
good.
looks like he could be the same age as
His mother.
Danny and his mom, right? And his
Yeah.
dad. Which we've never seen Martin and his dad interact, but we'll talk about that later on. I get to interaction, but go ahead,
I do want to sit there and touch on something. This is something that you said previously, and I think it's something along the lines of like, this is what happens when you don't have him work for it, or you don't have her work for it, and like that's another thing that goes against Danny in a sense. Is like, her sitting there asking and damn near begging for him to be back. It's like that stopped a long time ago.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what I want to
One thing I agree with that. I would have never begged for him to come back. Ever.
No, that
Now,
whole scene pissed me off on Friday. I was like, oh no. I said the same. I was like, listen, get your coat, walk your ass back out that door. Don't do that. Because what fucked me up was when that man literally called her desperate.
In her
I was
defense, though,
just-
she was planning to go to Paris, though. She was planning already to go to Paris.
But that right there, I don't know what it was, but that right there, I was like, yeah, he need to go. He need to die. Because I was like, for you to sit there after 30 years and call, like, just desperate.
Oh yeah, DC. But that reminded me of the Paris thing. I did love that line of Anita when she said, "Oh no, my daughter is not being chased out of town by those two interlopers. We are not having that." Now that's a line that I would have said I would have said too. I'd be damned if one of my family members is getting run out of town by two interlopers. I've been like, absolutely not.
Albert,
No,
we're going to say something earlier, Albert. Real quick, we can finish on that. What are we going to say?
Now, I want to then ask each of y'all. So, like, for the most part, we all generally are filling the gauge. But if you had to sit there and change one thing or something that you think that would make it better, what would it be? And I'm going to start with you, DC.
Well, I thought the Gates had good character development. This is definitely Bob Goose behind the scenes, because Bob Goose will never let a Friday go by on a soap that he's on and not let something happen. So we had the little gunshot thing at the end of Friday. So that's Bob Goose's touch right there. Because on GH from 06 to 2010, nothing went by on a Friday without something going down. But I will say, if I had to change one thing about the Gates, is what would I say would I have to change about the Gates? I want to see a little bit more character development. This is the beginning, but here's the thing. I know people keep saying, "Oh, it's a soap. You got to give it time. Give it 6 to 9 months." Like this is a pregnancy. The thing about it is that I want to see a little bit more character development. I want to see more of a draw in with the characters. I understand we don't need to rush to like things because this is a soap. Things are going to take their time, but just a little bit more. But I think the character development is actually doing decently for the start of the soap. And I will say I appreciate that. I like that Anita was not the typical mean soap matriarch. We already have enough of those.
Yeah.
I never didn't go that route. But yes, that's what I would probably change. Just a little bit more character development. But I did like it so far.
Kyreese, if you had to change or add something that you think would be better, what would it be?
Just the only thing I want changed is I just want Haley to get a full ass whooping instead of just one little punch in the face. I want her to get a full head to toe ass whooping, and Bill could get one too. That's it. Everything else, good.
I do have to agree with DC. Like, it is early, but I'm gonna say this. But it's only been the first week. But I want to say this: the only thing I would change is the male friendships on the show. I do feel like we've seen a lot of female friendships on the show so far. I feel like Vernon needs a friend, because I'm tired of watching him and just Martin. He need a friend in his age bracket. Even though, don't get me wrong, I love him and Martin's scenes together, like the camaraderie between them. I love it. But he needs like a homeboy. Bill definitely needs a male friend, because I'm like, sir, where is your damn friends? Like, he got one dude at the wedding that, standing up with him as the best man, but that fool worked for him. Like, you on the payroll, that don't count.
And they never properly introduced him either, that guy.
I don't remember his. Yeah, I don't recall his name either.
Tomas, that's his name.
No, not Tomas. I'm talking about the older dude that was standing behind him.
Oh, I have no idea what that is. Never mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know who that man is. I guess he just worked for him. But I would just beef up the male friendships, like, because the only one I think we kind of saw was Jacob and Derek, and that was like a double date kind of thing. But as far as that, that's literally the only thing right now I wouldn't even change. I love everything else about the show.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
When you talk about like even Vernon having a friend, I can't ever recall the old soap patriarch character ever having a friend on a soap. They had henchmen. But they never had a friend.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, that's true.
Because Stefano had henchmen. Stefano had henchmen. Yeah. Like, we got to be clear, he had henchmen, but he never had a friend. Victor doesn't even have no friends. Michael was his henchman, pretty much, but Michael is not Victor's friend. Like, Victor doesn't see Michael as an equal. That's kind of clear, I think, to our viewers. I got their senses.
Oh, hell yeah. That man ain't nothing but a lap dog to him. That's all that man is. And that's a shame, too.
Let me ask you guys this: have you guys seen any parallels between some of the characters on Beyond the Gates and maybe some other soaps? And
go ahead,
Kyreese.
Vernon reminds, like, the way he talks, like a black Eric Forrester. The way Vernon's voice sounds, like Eric Forrester saying the same thing. They're talking that same monotone voice, like that older male voice. So that's why every time I see him, I'm like, here comes the black Eric Forrester. Every time I see Vernon,
he reminds me of like Victor Lord from the early 1960s. One Like to Live, that is. Not the Vicky 90 days when she developed DID because of Victor, but the early 1960s Victor Lord. That's kind of what he kind of reminded me of, like a Matt Corey from Another World kind of thing, like Adam Chandler, pseudo Adam Chandler, because Adam Chandler always had this angriness to him, but Bird doesn't have that. But what about for you, Albert Brock?
You go first, bro.
I would say Leslie reminds me of a black Sheila Carter. She definitely got that evil about her, but it's so smart, wicked, is good. Danny reminds me so much of Phyllis from Y&R. So much. Like, probably I would dare to say maybe a more heightened version of Phyllis. But she reminds me so much of Phyllis, like always involved in her daughter's life, you know, controlling it in a way, overprotective, crazy as hell when you piss her off. You know, she can be affectionate, but she got that crazy in her eyes that I see on a regular basis now. And once I see that crazy, I'm like, yeah, get the hell away from her. Because that's, you know, that, and that's what I love about Danny. Like, Danny, I'm liking her. I really am. Like, she's a nut, but I like her. But she reminds me a lot of Phyllis, though.
Albert, what about you?
I mean, for me, like, I can't think of any, but like, I would sit there and say, as far as like the town scumbag, I guess, would probably be Bill and Drew, because nobody seems to really like Bill. Like, his own kids don't even really like him. And Drew, well, I mean, no one really likes him except for Willow. So I feel like they're in the same orbit as far as like anywhere they go, any food place they go to, people sniff, they're giving them the side eye.
You know what's interesting is that I would say that Danny and Nicole reminded me of Belle and Sammy, and Nicole and her husband kind of reminded me of like Belle and Sean. You know, in some of those parallels in some ways. I mean, Danny's not all the way like a Sammy Brady, but she kind of had some of those. I feel like some of those tenets that was there, and Anita kind of was giving a little bit of Rachel Corey from Another World for me in certain instances with that. So I think those are some of the similarities. One of you guys was about to say something, where I chimed in.
No,
Brock, was it?
I didn't.
Go
ahead.
Damn, and I think I lost my train of thought. It was about somebody.
Was that the Belle and Sammy thing that I mentioned?
No, I don't think so. Oh, that's what it was. Bill. I feel like with Bill, very different to me from Drew. Very different, because Drew, I just hate the bastard. Bill is a character I love to hate. Like, Bill, when he come on the screen, every time he say something reckless or disrespectful, I can't help but laugh at the shit, because it's the delivery of it. Like, he's just a straight ass, but he's a funny one. Like, he reminds me a little bit Bill from B&B, a little bit. Like, you know, you could be, you know, you a villain. You got a smart ass mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
and I love him.
Right.
And that's what he reminds me of. That's why he's a character I love to hate.
He kind of also reminded me of like Rick Lansing from GH, a little bit of EJ from Days, and who else am I thinking of? Somebody from Like to Live. The name is escaping me right now. Oh my God, who was it? He reminds me of someone from Like to Live. Oh my God.
Wasn't Todd, is it?
No, not Todd. No, definitely not Todd. I can't. The name is escaping me right now, and I can't find the name. Okay, if I ever find the name, I'll let you guys know. But
what year? Like, what year was he in?
It was around 05 to like, I want to say present, of one of the characters from Like to Live he reminds me of. Like, I can't. The name is escaping me right now, and I can't even. I just had the image of the person on mind too, but it literally just left my mind. And he also gives me a little bit of Edmund from All My Children.
But to think both Bills technically live in the same universe since they're on the same network. So
will they live in the same universe though? Will the Bell family allow that?
Nah, it would take some doing.
So they could have a crossover.
Yeah.
Would you want that? Would anyone want that?
Yeah, I think crossovers could be good because one, you're combining viewerships, you're combining resources. I mean, all the ABC soaps lived in the same universe. Because honestly, I think it would have been cool if even the soaps were even across networks. And the only time they ever did that was with Another World, As World Turns, and Guiding Light, because it was all Procter & Gamble. So, I mean, I'd be open to it, but what you guys think?
As far as Beyond the Gates doing like a crossover, somebody coming over to them, I feel like right now, no. Because I feel like they're new, and I feel like let them do them first.
You don't want them to ride the coattails of the show, kind of.
No, I just want them to stand on their own for a while.
Okay.
Like, don't, you can have a Lily or somebody pop on over, to have a little meeting or something like that with one of them down the road,
Mhm.
down the road for me.
What about you two, Albert and Clarke Industries?
Kyreese, you go first.
Oh yeah, I agree with Brock though. Like down the line, like maybe a year or so down the line, we could do a crossover, especially with Young and the Restless,
Yeah.
and then the Bald and the Beautiful. So definitely like a year
Yeah,
or so.
because you know what? They're very fashion, you know what I'm saying, on Beyond the Gate. So them having some type of conversations with somebody from Forrester makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would sit there and say the same thing. I mean, that's the reason why, like, when people sit there and saying, "Oh, well, this person should go to the gates," Kelly Monaco should go to the gates. It's like, no, let the gates actually be the gates first, and then maybe down the line, if you want to sit there and bring, not, not the first, not Toby Trina, but the other Trina though. Like, if they want to sit there and bring in what's her name?
Oh, Sydney Michaela.
Yeah, if they want to do that down the line, that would be cool, but not like right off rip though.
At some point in time, I'm gonna say this. There's two people that I need the most on Beyond the Gates at some point in life. I need Debbie Morgan and I need Victoria Rowell. I need both of them at some
But will
point.
CBS let her come on though? They gave her grace during Kristoff's funeral. They gave her grace.
Yeah, but I feel like they can have a conversation.
That's true.
Because
Victoria Rao coming on would be good. I would feel like it's like a second chance for her, what she needs.
it needs to happen, because I feel like say whatever they want, but this is how I feel. We have this because of her doing what she did all these years ago and still doing what she did. She wanted black people behind the scenes, black people in front of the camera more. We got both of those things now. You got black folks on this show who are in wardrobe, hair, and makeup. They're black people are behind the scenes running this shit now. That wasn't the case years ago. Now I feel like she spearheaded that. She needs to have a position up here, and I definitely could see her popping up as Anita's sister. I could see her doing that.
I could see that too. I could totally see that.
Oh yeah, I think it'd be great. I could see Debbie Morgan as. Did we lose DC?
Yep. He'll be back.
I could see Debbie Morgan popping up probably as like Leslie's mother or Leslie's aunt or something like that. I could see that, or her being a new standalone character maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely see that.
Okay. No, he'll be back. I don't know. I think his internet dropped or something like that, but he'll be back though. I know we're still doing the gates and stuff like that, but I did want to then kind of transition a little bit in the general hospital, and I just want to sit there and start with you, Brock. What are your thoughts so far in general hospital? Just your, Here we go.
From what I've seen this week, when you watch certain shows and you see what's going on over there and you see the shit that's going on over here, they need to step it up. I will say that. It's still, I feel like it's holding my attention, certain stories, but it's like losing my attention at the same time. Like, I grew up watching, that show, and I still love it to this day. It's like appointment for me, but some of the story is just very incoherent. It's like what they write yesterday, or last week don't match what the hell they're putting out, a few days later. It don't match. The dialogue don't match. Like, they could say something, and it's incoherent to me. It's like, okay, are y'all rewriting what you just wrote 2 weeks ago? That's the crazy part to me. DC,
Okay,
welcome
apologies.
back.
My computer just it did one of those freezes. It always does this when I start a stream, even though I restarted right before starting. So anyway, sorry about that. Brock, you were saying something before I got cut off. I don't know if wherever you guys are at.
Oh, back to that. Yeah, so I was just letting them know I think Victoria wrote well, and I could see Victoria playing Anita's sister and Debbie coming in as a standalone character or even being related to Leslie. I could see her coming in doing that.
Question for you guys. We talk about crossovers. What if 6 months down the line, Drew Kane as Congressman need to meet with Senator Martin Richardson and Vernon? And could you guys see something like that coming up? I mean, cross networks.
Not from him.
I know Drew.
If I see, I don't want to see no Drew nothing on this show. We ain't gonna taint this show. We're not gonna disrespect this show.
Would you be open to any other Procter and Gamble soap characters coming on down the line from As Well Turns or Guiding Light?
Hell yeah, I could see some Spaldings popping up. Oh yeah, I could see some Spalding people popping up here. And I could see, Barbara Ryan popping up with her nutty ass. I miss me some Barbara though. I do.
Let me ask you guys this real quick. What storyline resonated with you the most? I'm going to start off with Albert here.
For
the Gates.
We're talking about the Gate?
The Gates.
I would sit there and say, on some level, Bills. I would sit there and say that. I've had times in my life that I wasn't exactly the best boyfriend.
So you were
whatever. So like,
your life, you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. So like, I get it. Like the same thing with Drew. Like I get it to some extent. I'm not excusing it, but I get it.
So you see yourself in Drew K. That's why you champion somebody.
Exactly. He knows he is nothing like Drew Kane. He knows it. He just says that to get the audience all riled up. Albert is one of the nicest, softest men out there. So come on now. He knows damn well he was nothing like no
Albert
damn...
despises romance on daytime television? Say Albert?
Yes. Albert just be trolling. But you are not Kane.
All right, Brocktv, what about you? What's one storyline that resonated you the most this week from the Gates?
Actually, it was kind of more than one, but I keep it to one. It was what Mona said to Laura about getting people not, getting married and having children. Like everybody don't need to do that. That really stuck with me because I'm glad that they're highlighting that, because I feel like other shows don't really highlight that too much. They might bring it up, but they don't hit you with it like the Gates just hit you with it. Like they had a whole conversation about that. And I felt like everything she said made perfect sense because that's how I felt. It's like, I've had people say that to me. Oh, like they'd be shocked when I say, oh, I'm not getting married, I'm not having kids. They'd be shocked by that. And I'm like, what is there to be surprised about? I'm like, that ain't for everybody. Everybody.
So it kind of made you feel how modern the show was.
Yeah, very modern. Like I love the stories that they're highlighting and talking about. I think it's very relevant today. Very.
Clarke Industries. Kyreese, what about you? What was one story that resonated you the most this week about the Gates?
Probably Naomi in the bedroom. That's probably
you know what?
You go wrong on this.
I knew you was gonna say some nonsense.
Look, you're probably that Naomi in the bedroom. Well, then again, I don't know about hand because of being the one handcuffed, but I'm just saying, just reminding of Naomi in the bedroom, just, that gave me some flashbacks.
Flashbacks.
For what?
I'm going to say this. I think the storyline that probably resonated the most with me watching the Gates was, I think, in a way, was kind of Danny's storyline. I mean, I never lived Danny's storyline, but I resonated with her storyline the most because, for one, like I know what it's like to be desperate in love. I've been a Thomas Forster at one point in my life, minus the dark stuff, but I've been a Thomas Forster at other times in my life. So I understand that moment when you feel so desperate for love, and then you because she tried to seduce Bill back into coming back with her. She was going off of.
I ain't in no corner tonight. I'm just getting started.
So Danny tried to seduce her back into good graces. She tried to use her looks, but she's not 19 no more. Neither is Bill. And so that didn't work on him anymore. He already had that thing for time and time again. So he already knows. And granted, that's probably the only thing that Danny has had, so that's why she wants to come back.
Philemon asked Brock, DC, and could you see Andre and Haley having an affair as the show progresses? I mean, like 3 years down the line.
But how's an affair? How is an affair since Andre is single, right? Isn't that Ted's nephew?
Mm-hmm.
So how, and Haley is technically a single woman. So how is an affair though?
No, but she's engaged. But she's engaged to Bill though.
Oh, Haley. I'm thinking Danny. I'm sorry. You get these names confused. Yeah, okay, I'm thinking. Okay. You're right. I'm sorry. Excuse you guys. Okay, you're right. I'm thinking Haley. Like, wait, Haley's single. Not be getting confused.
Outside their door, I hear Popo.
Yeah, but I'm in the hood. You know, you always did.
I got it too.
Okay, so we got the chance to watch. We got the chance to watch the Gates this week. Let me ask you guys this: what is it that you guys feel like you want to see from the Gates? And well, let's start there. What is one thing you want to see from the Gates? I'm gonna start with Clarke Industries. What is something you want to see from the Gates?
I want to see more about Martin's husband, Smitty. Is that his name? Like, yeah, I like him. The way he just, how he's such a good dad. I want to see him in dad mode a little bit, and then I want to know like more of what he wants. I feel like he's under Martin's control, kinda like he probably feels that way, and I'm ready to see like what his branch out, what that's going to lead to of character development. As long as he don't end up like how Charlie was on Days of Our Lives.
You notice he got that phone call at the wedding, like, "Oh, it feels so good to be wanted." I was like, "Oh, okay, Trouble in Paradise."
I think that's about. I think honestly, that phone call was about a job. I don't even think that was. I think that was about a job.
Not a job.
Because you know why I think that? Because he's a house husband. You got to look at. I looked at it like he's a house husband. He's at home with the kids all day. Martin living his best life, professionally. I think with the kids getting older, they're teenagers now, he want to go back to work. That's what I think. And I think he's getting scouted by jobs again. That's what I think. I don't think that call was a cheat call. I don't think it was. Yeah. I think it was work. And I think the reason he's not telling Martin, this is just my theory, that he's not telling Martin because Martin likes the life that they had. He likes where they are. And I think Martin is resistant to change. He's hesitant for him to go back to work. So I think Smitty is not telling him the truth about that right now because he know Martin gonna be like, "No, I don't want you to do that." He's gonna have an issue and it's gonna be a problem.
You were so smart for picking that up, Brock, because I never picked up the fact that he was a house husband. Because now you realize they never said what Smitty did for work. They never said what for work.
Yeah, Martin mentioned he was a reporter. He used to be a reporter.
Yeah, they did say
that past tense.
Yeah. He's out. Yeah, he's out. He's at home now. I know. Trust me. I picked that up quick.
You caught that. Because you're probably right. Because the writers probably just baited us with that, making you think as if there ain't nothing going on. You probably could be right.
I don't think so. Everybody on this damn show can't be no hoe.
All right. Let me ask. Let me pass off to Albert next. Albert, what is it you want to see from Beyond the Gates? And I want to pass off to Brock.
You gonna pass it back to Brock?
I'm gonna pass it to you, then pass it back to Brock. I want to know what is, because Brock we were talking about Kyreese's comment, and then so when I'm going off to you is what is you want to see from the Gates? And I'm gonna ask Brock.
Pass it to Kyreese first, and then I want to go after Kyreese.
We just did with Kyreese.
Yeah, I already said I want to.
Yeah, that's why I passed it to you.
Okay, cool. So for me personally,
you've been drinking that wine. That's why you ain't listening. You
got mysterious red cup.
Anyway, all right. So here's what I want from the Gates. As much as I like Danny's character, I don't want them to overuse her. So we've been seeing a lot of her in the beginning and stuff like that. And yes, obviously she's going to be a central character, but Jeff, don't you start.
Hey, Queen Jess.
I don't want them to
give it Albert AJ Quartermain, but go ahead.
But I don't want them to overuse her because I remember, last day was meant to say it's I don't want it to just be the Danny show. And as great as she is, I don't want them just to always have her there. She's a good character, just don't overuse her.
But every show has to start with a protagonist. So you think they just bring her the protagonist for right now, but are you worried that it's going to be like center and focus all the way around her? You want it to be more of an ensemble cast, what you're saying?
I want to be a little more of an ensemble cast. I don't want it to be every single day, every single episode. Danny this, Danny that. I understand like for the storyline that she's central, but like I don't want it to just always be on her because I feel like that's the character after a while. They're gonna be like, oh, it's on her back and this, that, and the third. So it's like just pull back a little bit after a while. I would sit there and say.
Brother Quick said, we all know Albert's worse than Alexis when it comes to drinking.
Brock, what about you? What is one thing you want to see with the Gates?
I want to see more of Ashley. Like, I really want to see them develop her more because I think she can be a really good character.
Who's she
I
again?
think
There's so many of them now. You got to remind
the
me.
nurse.
Okay, the nurse.
Yeah, I
The
feel like
Elizabeth Weber
she's
of the
been.
show.
Yeah. Basically, I feel like she's been very low key so far, and I want to see more of her because I feel like she could be a real Hellcat if they really tap into it. But I think with her, they're giving her to you slow. I think they're giving the fans her very slowly for a purpose.
Ashley remind me of a cartoon character, Phineas from Phineas and Ferb.
It's a firm.
That's what Ashley reminds me of.
You know what the real estate friend reminded me of? Lucy Coe.
Yeah.
She was giving Lucy Coe vibes all the way, even from the same occupation. Wasn't she? See, I
Yeah.
was nodding his head too, right?
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you this. I am so in love so far with Miss Vanessa McBride. I am in love with that woman. She funny as hell, freaky as hell, crazy as hell. I love everything about the girl. I do feel like her and Doug are definitely swingers or open marriage. That's the vibe I get. Because when she mentioned Cabana Boys, that man didn't bat an eye. I'm like, what freakiness y'all get into?
And then the guy she was meeting at the diner, and Danny was like, "What's this all about?"
Yeah, I'm like, y'all into some open marriage type shit. And I'm here for it, but I want to see what's going on. Like, what y'all got going?
And this is cool because other soaps aren't touching these things, which is things we clearly know is going on out there. And soaps aren't having, kind of like what even Nicole's assistant saying, like, I don't want to get married, I don't want kids, not for me. Like, these are things that people are actually really saying. So I think it's good that the Gates is actually, like, the dialogue even feels more realistic. Like, even when they were at go ahead.
It's progressive. Like,
yeah.
Leslie out here playing folk. I did love them sitting at the diner gossiping and having their little girl I love that moment. Even though she crazy as shit and playing.
You remember she said, "What's the tea?" Goes, so what's the tea? I love that. You're not gonna hear that at YNR. You're not gonna hear that at YNR.
No, hell no. You're not hearing that on that show. Not unless you got Lily or somebody saying it. But they don't even write her to say it. You know what I'm saying? They don't write Devon and all them saying, please. It's like black dialogue escaped them characters. And that's a shame too.
And you know what's good is that, like, I was watching one of Albert's reviews earlier, and he kind of made a good point in his reviews about how when you have a bunch of black characters, it's not on the back of one particular black character in the show to like carry it and be the whole representation. Like, we got a whole bunch of it. And I think that's good because sometimes I wonder, like, how would Taviana fare in a show like The Gates where everybody's not black? How would that work? How would we now assess her? How do we now view certain? Don't get me wrong. I think some people, they got it. I think she's got it.
Yeah.
Because, Trina Pryor just didn't do it for me.
When you were gone, I was just saying that because he asked me about General Hospital, about what I thought about it lately. I still like it. I still watch it. It's just stories up there. They don't seem coherent. Like, they'll write something, switch it up. It's like you're not being consistent with your story, and that's what's throwing me off. And then it's the little dumbass stories that don't, resonate. You got Sasha up in here trying to lay down the law about her pregnancy. I'm like, lady, you could have just cleared this shit up real quick and just told people he ain't the daddy. And you wouldn't have the quartermains breathing down your damn throat. They would leave you the hell alone. So how you going to sit here and want to take charge about what's going to happen? No. That ain't how that works. But I feel like these shows lately, they have their little black quotas. And I'm not a fan of that part. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of that. Because it's like, on this show, it took so long to get Jordan with another black man. It's like, so you only can afford one black couple on the show. Everybody else got to be all white or interracial.
One at a time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's like, I love me. Don't get me wrong. I love me a good interracial relationship. But it's like, you got so many, but you only got one full black couple. That's crazy to me.
Exactly. There's so many beautiful black women out there that really need more time. Like General Hospital has been sitting on a hidden gem for so long, and her name is Deanna Citrus. You know that nurse? She is one sexy woman. I love Deanna, I like the way she walked, the way she talked, the way she dressed. I love everything about her. And her and TJ could have been a super couple, damn it. They could have been a super couple. Like, because I really, really, really thought about how to put them together outside of because, my fantasy is like, remember when TJ and the original Molly, they had that scene like years ago, like after Molly cheated on him with Brando, and they had that little shower scene. I'm hoping we could
comment section is sending me right now.
swap her out of there and get Deanna in it this time. But I really thought of how we're gonna put Deanna into this storyline this time. No, seriously, I really did think about it. I was like, because the story pretty much writes itself. Of how that would start is TJ. He returned back from Doctors Without Borders. He's returning after his breakup with Molly. He decided to go
Was that where he went?
Without Borders.
Oh,
well, that's probably where he's gonna go. He ain't gonna come back no time soon. So when he comes back, he's interacting with Deanna. She's happy to see him and all that, whatever. They're just socializing, and she brings up that she had it tonight. And he's like, oh yeah, well, good luck. So he goes, he ends up going to the same place that she's going to, right? And he's just like, but she sees her date, and
hold on. I gotta put my church finger up for a second. Hold on. Is this the thing that you was trying to tell me about?
You dang right. Deanna and TJ being the super couple.
They actually would be a cute couple together. I'm not gonna lie. They
would be a cute couple because
just like Nate and Tracy and YNR
would be with that. Like Deanna ditched her date before the date got started because she doesn't feel beautiful enough. She doesn't feel like, and then we could really delve into the character of Deanna, and we learn her background, that she is the black sheep of her family because, to her perspective, she has this younger sister that's always been more beautiful than she is. So,
do you want to just join the writing staff at GH, Kyreese? This is actually got all this expansion for them.
Yes. So she just feels that she's not good enough. But the parents is like, no, that's not necessarily true. We love you too. We love you just as much. But when the
hell she get parents?
Huh?
She get parents.
That's what she can get them now. We got
maybe her mom is Lainey Winters. We don't know what happened to Lainey Winters on GH. She just disappeared. So maybe her mom is Lainey Winters. Remember Dr. Lainey Winters?
Sir, they ain't got the budget for no parents for her.
Yes, they could get any day players to play their parents if they got to, but that just explains her background. So then meanwhile, when TJ this is how TJ finally wins her over. Like one day they're at TJ's place, and Deanna said TJ lost something at the hospital, and then TJ's like, look, Deanna, I want you to look in the mirror right now. And he holds her hand like really sweetly. I really mean that. He holds her hand really sweetly, and he's like, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you are beautiful. She's like, I can't, TJ. I don't feel beautiful inside. I'm like,
what
please.
What type of head-ass play is this?
What?
Really quick, guys. We got a question here. Hold on, guys. I got a question here.
You are worthy of love.
We got a question on the screen. We got a question. Pause, guys. Pause. We got a question on the screen. It says, Albert, can you have Brock expand on this theory about Ted possibly being Ava's father or Leslie lying? So I'm guessing that this person, Ed, has seen both Albert's reviews and Brock's reviews.
Well, this is...
Look, but ultimately, he tells her she's beautiful. She is beautiful. And then he finally believes her.
Hold on.
All right, Kyreese, we're going to pause it here. We're going to pause it here for a second, Kyreese. We're going to pause it here.
I just want to say this because somebody in the comments just had me laughing my ass off. They just compared you to a cat lady.
What?
Somebody compared you to a cat lady.
I'm dead. Who said that?
DC.
Somebody said talking to you was like talking to a cat lady.
Oh, cat lady in our cat lady is one of our subscribers.
Oh, cat lady.
But Brock, I do want to ask. So we have a comment here from Ed. He says, Albert, can you have Brock expand on his theory about Ted possibly being Ava's father, Leslie lying? So my guess is Ed has seen your reviews and you had a theory about Ted possibly being Ava's father.
Can you explain to Brock? Wait, really?
We got Brock
what?
explain it. Brock. So this is Albert.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you have Brock
I know.
expand on his theory?
I think I know what they're talking about because Friday, I think it was Friday's episode. Leslie was saying that Eva is finally going to be in her father's house.
Her father's house. I don't know what she said. It.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, so Ted is the daddy. Because it would only make sense. Like, why else install her in Nicole's life? You know what I'm saying? So Ted would maybe, but that's what ran me with another theory though. What if, because Ted, when he got off that elevator, he didn't know who the hell Leslie was. But then again, Eva was saying that Leslie wasn't her biological mother. But what if Ted's brother, who supposedly died, what if that was a lookalike? Like his identical twin, and he's the one that slept with this woman that got her pregnant and got Eva. And they think it's Ted.
I hope they don't do the evil twin thing.
Not an evil twin, but just a twin that slept with her.
Okay.
Stepped out on the marriage. Because the way Ted is talking, I don't see him stepping out on Nicole.
Because but was that before? But is it possible that could have been before Nicole and Ted got married? Because I remember when on Friday's episode, they said, or was it Thursday when they said when Nicole was explaining how she first met Ted, they didn't even know each other. They met at a convention.
Maui.
Nicole,
but
trip.
we
her mother first, and then he dumped to go be with Nicole.
But we would have to know the age of Eva. We would have to know her age, and we would have to know the age of Martin. Mm-hmm. Because if Eva is younger than Martin, and Ted is the father, that means Ted had to have stepped out.
Yeah.
So if it was before then, that would mean Eva would have to be older than Martin, and Eva don't look older than Martin. She don't look like she could be.
Now, pause for a second here. Albert, like you had your hand up, you wanted to add something in. Did you?
Well, I just want to sit there and say, I know this is kind of a vanity thing, but we got 29 likes. We got 69 people in the chat. So definitely hit that goddamn like button.
That helps keep the momentum growing, people.
Absolutely.
Because one thing I will say about Beyond the Gates is I was watching GH early this week in the whole Jocelyn joined the WSB, and I was like, I don't want them to do these kind of storylines Beyond the Gates. And I want to know, how do you guys feel about these kind of storylines, the soap tropes, the evil twins, and this? Do you guys want to see that on Beyond the Gates? I'll be honest, I don't, but I want to hear your guys' takes, and I'm going to start out.
I haven't seen it in a while, to be honest. So I'm actually okay with it.
Like the evil twins, okay back from the deads, those kind of things.
I haven't seen it in a while.
Secret agents.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm cool with it.
Brock, you had a thought?
My thing about the whole twin thing is I don't necessarily think he got to be evil. I just think that he can come back and be a person that made mistakes. You know what I'm saying? His brother is taking the brunt of it. Because I think I agree. I think the whole evil twin trope is a little played. That's why if they did do something like that, it would need to be a different take on it.
What about secret agents? The whole WSB kind of thing, like the ISA thing. Would you be open to that on the Gates?
Eventually, maybe. But I feel like this show gives a little different vibe to that.
I think so too.
I agree with Samuel. He said, I want it to be his own soap, maybe create new soap tropes.
I agree.
Yeah, because they can do that.
I definitely agree with that. Definitely. So a question I asked, since kind of transitioning things here a little bit. Look at me being the Albert Bostic. Look at me. I'm grabbing the CEO title today. I'm the new CEO of Bostic Enterprise today.
Oh.
But what did you guys think of Jocelyn Jacks joining the WSB on General Hospital? Because this is something, I'll be honest, I did not see this coming at all. Okay, I
Just,
see. This is like about.
I'm not understanding how that is going down like that. Like, she is not no agent. Like, the way she handled the Cyrus thing was so damn sloppy to begin with. So how the hell he think that this girl is going to be some WSB agent? What he needs to do is recruit Emma Drake. If she could stop being all nosy in everybody else's business, since she's actually Anna and Robert's granddaughter, maybe they could bring her in on that, and he can go against what Anna's orders is. Because I'm not understanding what he thinks Jocelyn's gonna do, but fuck shit up for him. I just don't get that.
Okay, let me shift gears over here to Albert. What are your thoughts on the new WSB agent Jocelyn Jacks?
I'm actually cool with it. I think that she would actually be a badass agent. I think that she would be a better agent than Anna. So like, I think I'm cool. I'm cool with it.
Where's my drink?
Brock, what about you? I know you had quite the reaction. You had quite the reaction. What about you on Jocelyn Jackson?
I need alcohol.
Her being a better agent, let me tell you something.
There you go.
When it comes down to Jocelyn, I feel like a pup named Scooby Doo could do better than her.
That's Scooby Doo.
Because
Scooby Doo, where are you?
No, because seriously, I feel like could she have potential under the right tutelage? Sure. Do I envision her as an agent? Hell no. No. Like, why not continue the tradition and let little Emma be the agent?
Now, here's the thing. I think the reason why he didn't go Emma is because Emma would be expected to be an agent. So she's probably got eyes and ears on her with her grandparents already being WSB agents. So Jocelyn is not as suspected. And so, like he said, she can go under the radar and go into places that he can't get into. Now, I know some people in the comments are saying like they feel like Samuel just said, he feel like the WSB stuff is the worst thing about GH. But here's the dealio. Because even this week, when Lucky was like, yeah, my dad told me it's not too late. I'm like, who cares about Luke? But then I got to realize Luke and this WSB stuff is what saved GH. There would not be no GH without Luke and Laura and the WSB. We got to go ahead, Albert. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I'm going to let you finish. I did want to ask a question after that. So see you.
Because when I look at that, is that this WSB stuff is what saved GH back in the day when they were struggling in the ratings. They were struggling so hard. And Luke and Laura were the biggest parts of that. Regardless of how people feel about that history, that saved the show. So the WSB thing, I was like, man, WSB. But I'm like, this is General Hospital's lane. Every soap is not, because I want Beyond the Gate to stay away from that stuff. I want them to stay away from that, like with a 10-foot pole. But I'm like, General Hospital's already doing this. Like, you're already in the shenanigans. So let's just see what more shenanigans you can produce. But Beyond the Gates is like, so like I look at the other three soaps as like the older children, but Beyond the Gates is like the younger child, where you want to do things better with them. You heard from the first two kids, so you want to do better. You want to do right by them. You know what I'm saying? Keep them on a strict path. Go ahead, Albert. What are you going to say?
Well, did anyone else actually get their questions before I say my topic?
Yeah, I told you I got 5 questions for Brocktv. So we already addressed the whole Deanna, whatever. Like I said, he said she's beautiful. Then they started kissing, and then that's when they became a couple. We get to know Deanna's personality. She ain't scared to slap a chick and whatever. But that's their problem. That's their story. But now my second question for you is, now that Tracy has been given a much more age-appropriate love story, what do you think about Tracy Abbott and Alan, whatever his last name, on The Young and the Restless? Don't you think we're long overdue a love scene with them? And also, don't Tracy Abbott look way better than Natalia Ramirez? I stand on that.
Tracy and Nate need to get together and have themselves a love baby. I'm telling you.
No. We passed that. I'm not about to be going there. Tracy Abbott ain't having no babies. Okay, that's why Alan is perfect for her. I don't understand why we got
All right, Clarke Industries. I'm gonna put you on pause here. Albert, what is it that you want to say? I'm gonna put Clarke Industries on pause. Just for right now, Clarke
Please
Industries.
put his ass on pause.
So wait, I'm putting you on pause right now, Clarke Industries. Albert, what does he want to say? We're gonna get back to you, Clarke Industries. We're gonna get back to you. Albert, what do you want to say before you lose your thought?
All right. So I want to know people's thoughts on this whole Willow and this Will and Drew storyline, because I'm feeling it.
Custody.
I'm loving it. I'm here for it. I'm here for this couple, and that's where I'm at. But I want to sit there and know, what does Brock think of the epic love story of Willow and Drew?
Willow and Drew can kiss my ass.
Ooh, okay.
That's what I think.
You want to?
I
add a little bit? Oh, okay. DC?
I will say that Drew made a good point when he barged in and he said to Jason that, like, you know, they're trying to wipe me off of the Quartermain name, but meanwhile you're the hitman and you're still in everybody's good graces. And I was like, you better tell him. You better tell him. You better tell him. I was like, you better tell him. Albert's guy, Jason. I was like, yeah, you better tell him. You better tell him, Drew. You better tell him. You better tell him. Because I'm like, Jason kills people for a living, but yet he is a golden child of Quartermains. And granted, what Drew did was not necessarily any that much more better, but Drew ain't taking nobody's life on a daily basis. That much, you know. So like, Drew, you better tell him. Now, one thing I didn't like was when Drew said he didn't see Jason that night. That part I didn't like. But then what I thought was weird when Carly was like, come on, like, you're not this kind of man, Drew. Really? Because you've been telling him for the past few weeks he is that kind of man. And all of a sudden you do Jason out, he's not that kind of man no more. So to me, I the storyline with Drew, I don't like that he has no allies, not even Curtis. That's the part that hurt my heart, that he doesn't even have Curtis no more. So I'm like, what is this going to do? It's either going to turn into a murder mystery or he's going to die. Something's going to happen like that. Because when you get this isolated, when they isolate character this much in soap, that's usually where it's headed.
You need to
Kyreese?
Drew and Willow could both go straight to hell with gasoline draws on. Let me start with Drew's jealous ass. First of all, he need to remember Drew would be nothing without Jason and all of Jason's money, okay? You bought Aurora Media with all of Jason's hard-earned money. What was like, and he want to talk about, what my life would have been like if Betsy, Susan Moore dropped me off with Alan and them instead of Betsy, where I got stuck with. I'm like, first of all, Drew, you would have never even been existed if the writers didn't fail with a Jason Morgan recast, okay? So therefore, don't nobody give a damn about you and none of your feelings. Like, you are nothing without Jason. So you should be getting on your knees and kissing his ass every single time you see him, because all that money you got, you spent millions and millions and millions of dollars out of his pocket, and you still got millions in your bank account because of him. So, and you were screwing his wife. He was fine. He was cool with you, and he lost 2 years of his life saving your funky ass from prison, from being held captive again by Peter August. So the fact that you're just so jealous and disrespectful to Jason is just trifling as hell. And I really feel that Drew needs to be dealt with. Like, Jason did not sucker punch him. Jason just beat that ass. It don't matter that, because if Drew was a real Navy SEAL, Drew would have been able to fight back. So this imposter can go straight to hell already. And Willow, she's an unfit mother. I knew from day one I never wanted her to adopt Wiley to begin with. Michael should have just raised his own damn child, but no, he had to go whining like a little bitch. What if I'm not enough for Wiley? Wiley needs a mother because he's stuck with Nell as a mother. I'm like, you got your child back from Brad, and now you gave her to this crazy ass cult-minded chick. Like, I knew Willow wouldn't be shit. I mean, she was cute with Chase and all, but I'm like, I don't trust this heifer like that, and I'm not surprised that she betrayed Michael once she thought she had something else. Like, Willow is so simple-minded. All you gotta do is just wave a little carrot in her face and she'll fucking faint. So,
Brock, what about you?
What was the question again?
I'm trying to remember what actually was the question.
Your question was about what did he think about Willow and Drew?
Yeah, he already said it.
Oh yeah, that was
yeah.
Albert's question. That's Albert's question. That's Albert's question.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can go to hell far as I care. I have no interest in either one of them.
All right, I got a question.
Okay.
So this whole Brooklyn and Dante thing, like, do you think that Dante should be fully upset, or do you think that he should have some grace or not be as mad? Like, how do you feel that Dante should be? And I'm gonna sit there and start off with you, Brock.
Wait, do you notice the way Albert framed that question kind of tells exactly how he feels based on the way he asked that question? Did you guys notice that?
Oh, say it again.
Like the way Albert framed that question to us tells us exactly how he feels Dante should feel.
No. What was the question again?
Okay, so the whole Brooklyn and Dante story, like, how do you feel that, like, Dante should react towards that? You know, as far as him finding out, you know, that he had a child that he didn't know about because
you want the PG answer?
No.
PG answer?
No, I want the non-PC answer. That's what I.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope for all sensitive people, close your ears. But personally speaking, if this wasn't a television show, even though I don't condone it, don't get me wrong, I don't.
Oh God, I know this is going. Oh Lord.
I mean, finding out something like that, I would go upside her fucking head. But for show purposes, I would cuss her ass out good, honestly, and I would get to know my son.
But why? She was a teenager at the time. Why is this though? Why?
I don't give a damn. You were a teenager, that's fine. I give you grace on that part because you were a kid. But as a grown ass person, no, come on. You had plenty of chances as an adult to tell this man.
Is it because she's around Dante that's where the anger's coming from, or just because what she did? Period.
No, because it's like because you lied about it as an adult. You could have told this man this. You could have told him this any given time. Once you hit 19, 20 years old, 21, you could have told him all of this. 20 years, you kept this a secret.
So then is the anger because she's around him or because what she did?
Because what she did.
Because you said she could have told him he was 19, 21 years old, but that was because she was around Dante. What if she wasn't around him ever again?
You still could have tried to find that man. Hell, their family was.
But why did she have to go find him for? That's a lot of work. She already did it.
You have a damn child out there. Somebody don't tell you. You're not gonna be mad about that.
Well, let's look at the context. Let's look at the context. They were both young.
DC, I
think
it makes it worse though because she's around him though.
Make it worse because she's around him. You claiming to be that man's friend, and you got a whole child by him that's living in your home, even though you don't know that's your child, but you have a child. Period.
The thing about this storyline is that we're gonna see a breakdown not just between Brooklyn and Dante, but between Sonny and Lois, between Olivia and Lois, between Olivia and Ned. There's going to be a breakdown from all over with the storyline, and not even just in that front. And we're going to see friendships tested because if you notice, Olivia and Lois and Ned, Olivia and Ned are going to be at war. Their marriage is going to come to some blows because of this, and then her friendship with Lois is going to be tested for sure. Because
that friendship need to be over.
Yep.
I don't know that what they did was that wrong though. I don't know that
DC. What type of crack rock you on?
See, because what Albert was like, oh yeah, like why would Brooklyn do this? I remember Albert was saying this live, but I'm like, they were young. She was 16. The only thing that makes it worse is that she's around Dante, but she was never on Dante ever again. Would you still be looking at it through these same eyes?
Listen.
Kyreese, maybe.
Lois and Brooklyn will both get, but I think me personally, I'd be even more angry with Lois because Brooklyn don't even know if it was a boy or a girl. Like I'm gonna be mad at Brooklyn to an extent for not telling me about the pregnancy, but Lois, on the other hand, you're supposed to be my mom's best friend. Y'all supposed to have gone way. What do you mean it has nothing to do with her being around?
I love how Albert highlighted that comment. The one comment that supported his point. He was like,
it has to do with well. Then again, it has to do with all of that all together. They're not about to keep me from my child.
Nikisha Moore, give us a woman's point of view. Tell us what you think, Nikisha Moore. You're the child.
Nikisha.
But I would make sure that Lois would go back to being the trash of Bensonhurst. Because, see, this is karma for her getting all up in Nina's business, snitching to Carly about the SEC nonsense. See, Lois, you should have minded your own damn business. Because during that storyline, it turns out, you were keeping a whole child identity a secret for 20 plus years.
I kind of wonder if she knows
you can't keep secrets.
But see, that's the thing. I wonder if she knows if it's Gio, though.
But
I wonder if Lois knows.
I think she does. Because
and I think Lulu's going to find out. I think Lulu's going to be one to expose it.
I think Lois knows because every time BLQ was around that boy, she got a funny look on her face.
Lois told
you got to look.
Yeah. Lois told Martin.
Oh, that's right. She did. She did. I'm a little behind.
DC. All right, DC.
Mm-hmm.
Same question applies to you.
About what? I think about the...
Yes, like, how mad do you think he should be or any sort of grace? Like, how do you, like, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, the thing about it is, well, also, this is going to cause a breakdown between Chase and Dante. There's another breakdown it's going to cause here between all of this. I get his anger, and I do believe Lulu is going to be the one to find out and expose this. Samuel's like, the story doesn't even have to be, but it's here, Samuel. The story's here. And it's making BLQ interesting to me. You know, I never found BLQ and Chase interesting. I never covered them in any of my reviews except for one over the past years.
They still not.
But how he should respond is once she finds out, if she comes up with a plan to try to tell him, I mean, it was a tough situation. Like, she was young. Like,
would you be upset if that happened to you? Would you? How would you feel?
It's not like Dante's not already raising one of his sons. It's not like he's been childless or whatever, like a Chase situation. But here's the thing. What I will say is this. I don't really know. I think I would have compassion because I think if someone had my child, I'd have to give them some kind of a grace or care my child. We're going to work together to figure this out now together. I would let them think I was a little upset because you can't give people too much of a free pass. I let them think you're a little bit angry. This is how you set some tones. But I think I'd be very understanding. I know how this really sounds. I don't feel like, what the hell? But this is one of those things I'll be understanding. Now, let's say if somebody cheats on me, their life will turn into a Lifetime movie, you know, like a biopic after that. But something like this, we can talk about it.
Bless your heart, DC.
That's what I was going to. Thank you, Kyreese.
Then how would you respond?
I would be pure vindictive all the way. You kept me from my son for 20 plus years. I'm gonna find a way to mess with you.
They were kids.
I don't care. We're kids or not. Like my kid was a kid, and he over there talk about he never even knew his daddy was around. And his adopted mother died. You got my kid out here all alone, and you knew I was right here. I could have helped him out. I could have been there for that boy. I mean, luckily,
because Dante's around. If she wasn't around, Dante, I think guys would feel differently.
It wouldn't matter.
No. Thank you.
It does not matter whether he was around, not around, whatever. Like at the end of the day, that was Dante's child. He had every right to know. Like men have right to their damn kids, you know. Like it takes two to tango. Okay, so men have rights to their children.
So then, do men have?
Well, I don't know, a deadbeat dad like Jason had dad for over 15 years. It took him 15 years, and Sam dying to finally step up to be a dad for once.
Do men then have a right to whether or not? Okay, no, this is too controversial. I'm not going to go here.
No. I want you to go there tonight.
I've said that in my stream. No, I've actually gone there in my stream before, so I'm not afraid to go there. I'll say.
Do you think that men then have a right then to the whether or not the woman terminates the pregnancy? Then, if they have
that I said it before. You can't tell a woman what she could do with her body on that front. If she wants to, because I've said this outright, I'll say it again. The world would have been better off. A whole lot of bastards would have been aborted. I'm just going to flat out say there's a bunch of murderers and
rapists. Samuel, comment for me, please. That's a good
comment. That would have been better off if they were aborted. I'm just saying.
If
So
Dante can handle being shot by his daddy, he can handle not knowing the paternity of his kid. I agree.
What? Kyreese, did you actually have more to say before I kind of jump in?
But yeah,
If that's
I'm just
okay.
saying, like the world, like they want to talk about, want to
Okay, I
pass
guess
laws
not.
in some states about, oh yeah, not having an anti-abortion laws. Like F that shit. Like you can't pull that baby out of, a man can't pull a baby out of his dick.
So then why was Dante giving her right? Okay, but okay.
But it's
I'm gonna
different though. But
yeah.
once she chose to carry the term and
Okay,
she
fair.
gave birth to that baby, that's when the man could take has his equal say. But if
Apparently not.
she terminated the pregnancy, then that's her body, because at the end of the day, a man can't give birth 10 months later like the woman can. Wow.
Be mighty painful.
Are you good,
Albert, you
Kyreese?
got a point to
Could I
make? It
jump
sounds like
in?
it. Go ahead, Albert.
I mean, here's the thing. Kyreese actually, I mean, before he kind of went off the rails a little bit, he made a lot of sense. You still did make a lot of sense. And to be honest, I do agree with everything that you did say. My whole thing is like, the thing is, DC, it's your opinion, so I'm not going to sit there and knock you for that. But I would be pissed. I would be beyond pissed that you decide to make a decision for me about our child. Like that would just make me just lose my shit because you're making a decision for me. You don't
But
know.
don't they also make the decision when they want to terminate the pregnancy too?
But that's something different though. I agree with him on that. That's her body. But once that child becomes in this world, that's not just her child. And I feel like at that point, it's like what was like Kyrie said. What is my feelings and my rights don't matter as a man? So yeah, that's something that would be an issue in itself. And yeah, I mean, I don't know about the whole, if he could be shot, if he can handle being shot, then he can handle not being in that child's life for 19, 20 something years. Like, no, bro, that's not something that can sit there and slide. I mean, yeah, everyone has compassion to a certain point, but I mean, come on, bro. Like, I'm sorry, I agree with Cyrus on that one.
I'll give you guys that, and that's fair then. So let me ask you guys this then. Let me ask you guys this though. What do you guys then think about Cyrus's death and what is going on with that aspect? And with Lucky, the Lucky recast was, yeah. But what are you guys' thoughts? I'm gonna start with Brock here. And then Kyreese, we're gonna head back to you. You can add some of your thoughts and connect with that as well.
Honestly, it was about time for Cyrus to go. Do I think he could have stayed around? They would have just locked his ass up, sure. But I feel like we need a good villain that are gonna come to town, wreak havoc, go back under their rock, come back. Cyrus could have been that. I feel like he could have been that. But it was time for him to go though, because he was like causing some shit. I just wish they would have found another way to do it. But
what was another way they felt he should have done then?
Like they could have shot maybe, but still, escape. Because everybody think he disappeared somewhere anyway. Some people think he died. Some people just think he just got away. So I would have just let him just get away and let him be in the wind for a while till it was time for him to make his grand entrance to cause some shit.
Clarke Industries.
I was honestly surprised that Jocelyn had it in her. That Jocelyn was actually a good shot, because we all know her mama Carly. I remember when she shot Billy Miller's version of Drew by accident out there in Puerto Rico. So I thought Jocelyn would be a lousy shot, just like her mother. But Jocelyn, she does have a good shot. But outside of that, I still think I'm disappointed that Jocelyn's the one that took him out, though. Like, there's so many other candidates that could have really shot and killed Cyrus. I mean, I'm glad it wasn't Danny, but could have been Jason. It could have been.
Like they picked the wrong candidate.
Yeah, all because of stupid ass Dex. Like, don't nobody give a damn about no damn Dex. Like, seriously, I was over him long before he died. The moment he snitched in that police station, that's when he was dead to me. He was crying like a little bitch, too. All because Jocelyn dumped him for 5 seconds. Like, buy the girl some flowers and some chocolate and maybe a little bit of jewelry, and she'll be over it. Like, please. That girl is vain as hell. But you're going to tell him because her hypocritical ass dumped you because you tried to kill Cyrus's funky ass, who she ended up killing her damn self. Let that sit in. But that's
Rather
why
ironic, isn't it?
on Michael, she snitched on Michael. He snitched on Carly and Sonny because Jocelyn broke up with him for that reason, but yet she ended up killing him. So, all for his stupid ass, useless ass.
Albert, what about you then?
I was over the Cyrus character. Once he started doing the whole let's trying to redeem him and everything like that, and the whole Bible thing, I was just like, no, he needs to go. And then even when they got him back in there, as far as being a villain at that point, I was like, no, he needs to go. So I'm personally glad that they got Sitwell, because Sitwell seemed like he just don't give an ass. So I'm cool with Cyrus being gone.
For now. Say what's a good one for now to get tired of him, because this happens a lot in GH where the villains seem to overstay their welcome.
But I don't want him to be like another. I don't want him to be like another Jordan, another Ian Ward or whatever. It's like let's not do that.
I think Cyrus is like a great value Mitch Lawrence, the way I always look at it. And I think with Cyrus is that like this storyline, I like that they already told us who the killer was, so we didn't have another hook situation. That was good. I think they learned from that because even when they had the Lucky recast come in, which I hated when they always have a recast come in at the height of a storyline. I'm like, why does this always seem to happen for some reason? At the height of a storyline, that's when the recast is coming in. But I think they handled the best what they did. They brought Miss Wu back after like a year of not being on. I don't have no high hopes anymore for Miss Wu. I'm over it. This is years in the making. It fell flat multiple times. I'm over it. Like it's almost like a relationship you keep getting disappointed of. You just really like, I'm ready to break up with them. That's how I feel Miss Wu. But I'm hoping that they give us more of a better structured storyline in a sense. Now, I do want to ask this because I want to make sure we touched on this before. Is with Weinar, y'all know I don't watch B&B no more now. I officially have retired from B&B since now the gates.
Did you make a video?
I'm watching 4 soaps, but
did you make a video?
I haven't
breaking up
yet, but I will. I will. I'll do my little soap opera analysis on B&B, but no more B&B for me because I don't have the time to watch so many soaps, so I had to cut one. So B&B got cut. But when it comes to Weinar, we can still talk about B&B today too. But when it comes to Weinar, what do you guys think about Sharon and Phyllis being kidnapped together? And I didn't see the rest of the week, but we can obviously just talk about it. It's okay if I get spoiled. I'll allow it. What do you guys think about Sharon and Phyllis ended up together in that? And also the Nate storyline. Which one do you guys want to touch on first? Let's start off. Let's start off here first.
I have something about B&B.
Go ahead, Clarke Industries.
About Sharon and Phyllis, like I said, when they were kidnapped together for a second, when they woke up, I kind of found it funny when they woke up in each other's arms for a second. I was like, hold up, if this was a different role, and if I didn't hate Phyllis with a passion the way I do for sexually assaulting Danny Romalotti back in the day, then it really would have kind of been hot if they would have kissed right then and there. But neither one of them swing that way, so it's just like, but it was comedic watching them wake up like that. And then, but one thing, as much as I hate Phyllis with everything in me, I like the way that she holds Sharon accountable. Like, you spent the last year of your life acting like an outright crackhead, okay? A straight up crackhead. I don't care that you were taking that PCP without your knowledge. I don't give a damn. You still dumped Heather's body over that river like she was nothing. You still made my life hell. You still framed my son. So you damn right I'm going to hold your feet to the fire. Just because you got your little problems, that don't mean you get to take it out on the whole world. You didn't choose to go after every single body in the world. You went after specifically my family. My life is fucked up because of you right now. Well, my son's life is fucked up because of you right now. Sharon.
But wait, pause here, Kyreese. Just like how Daniel messed up Sharon's life when he took Cassie in that car and driven off the road. And
he didn't take him in that car. First of all, he asked her. She wanted to act like she was grown and drinking and get in that car. Ain't nobody told Cassie to be driving that damn car. He didn't kill her damn daughter.
You're right.
So she should have kept her little grown ass up in that damn. I mean, her little fresh ass in that damn house. Like Sharon should have made sure she was still on punishment. You don't
But how
get
do you
my.
explain then? But wait, Kyreese, how do you explain then Phyllis getting with Nick around that time while she was
Yeah,
still married to Nick?
I am not defend. Don't get me into the business of defending Phyllis now. This is not about defending Phyllis. This is about me holding Sharon's feet to the fire for making their lives hell. Like, there's no way in the world you get to go around acting like a straight crackhead all last year and expect me to just be cool with you, and you're not even in rehab. Like, no, is that PCP still in your system? Because the way you've been talking, like, I remember when Sharon approached Phyllis expecting a pat in the bathtub. Oh yeah, Phyllis, because I fought really hard not to kill you. So yeah, so you should be grateful to me that I didn't kill you, that I didn't listen to that voice in my head. Like, what do you want, a fucking medal? Like, no.
Who wants to touch this between the two of you guys? Who wants to touch on this next? Right, let's add in. Go ahead, Albert.
Okay, so on one hand, I can see where people are coming from. It's like, damn, Sharon just got kidnapped again. And it just seemed like we're really doing this. And then they also do the whole, if you saw Thor, they're also doing the whole, oh, you want to sit there and play a game. So it's like, really? But I guess it's kind of interesting on a positive note that two people that can't stand each other have to work together. So I'll sit there and say that much. Like, I think that part would be interesting. Brock?
This first of all, Kyreese, you're about to stay in the corner for the day.
No,
because I'm just sitting here listening to all this nonsense you spill. Like, Phyllis ain't the devil herself.
Phyllis is the devil. Like, you should listen. Any last one of my streams, you will know that I hate Phyllis with every fiber in my being. Every day I find some way.
I know, but
for something,
like, this woman ain't did a goddamn thing.
What?
Like, this woman ain't never did a damn thing in her life.
Oh, no,
like,
she did everything in her life.
You over here running motherfuckers over, killing their children.
Exactly.
She killed Jeremy Stark.
Thank you. Well, he was an ass. He needed to go. But
she tried to stop Diane, and that backfired on her. That's why she ended up with the Jeremy Stark thing.
But honestly, though, it's like this whole kidnapping shit. I'm over it. How many times does Sharon have to be a damn damsel in distress? Like, you just got kidnapped, and you getting kidnapped a month or two later.
Mm-hmm.
Take some self-defense classes. Get some effort.
Any
theories then of who the kidnapper is?
People are going around saying it should be Drusilla because when she Drusilla, because she fell off of that cliff because Sharon and Phyllis were fighting.
But why would you kidnap Sharon though? She loves Sharon.
She would never.
Well, to get them to stop fighting, if that was the goal, I don't know.
No, she would never. Mm-mm. She wouldn't go to that extreme.
Phyllis, wouldn't she?
And they never even mentioned Drusilla. If you notice, the Winter's Children, they only mention Neil. They never mention Drusilla. They never met. It's like she never existed.
Because that's the way. Obviously, that's probably a mandate from CBS.
Yeah, it probably is. It probably is.
Let everyone say good night to Nikisha.
Good night, Nikisha.
I mean, I think with Weinar. Okay, so then I want to ask you guys about the Nate storyline of his brother, which. Before I hear your guys' opinion, one thing that just struck me about that storyline is how come Amy never showed Nate a picture of the man? Like, all that time he was in LA dealing with this person, she never showed him a picture.
Yeah, that was weird. That was like really, really weird.
And you have the PI though. Let me have the PI. The PI would literally sitting there saying like, "Oh, he's over here. Oh, he's at this. He's going to be at this place at this time or whatever." Yeah.
Yeah, the PI they need to get their refund. Because the PI is definitely lacking. I feel like also I feel like at first Amy was trying to run a scam. I didn't trust her at first. I felt like she was trying to run a scam because how does this man not know what his half brother is supposed to really look like? So you're chasing a ghost. How are you supposed to know what he looked like? That's just weird.
And why wasn't Mamie there to vet this woman? Mamie is supposed to be like the matriarch of the Hastings Winters Hamilton
Mamie,
Barbara Johnson clan.
Mammy been MIA for God knows how long now. She ain't been important since she tried to get them to coexist and take the company from jail. When
She's
that
their version of
failed,
Jill, basically.
yeah, but
MIA.
when that version failed, she just ditched town. She just left. Like she just fell off the damn grid, which another story I felt was weird. Um, I'm just gonna put this out there because I would hate to say this about anybody, but Josh Griffith need to fucking go. At the end of the day, that man need to go. His writing style. Look at the Abbotts. The Abbott family. These people's storyline is remodeling that damn house. That's the storyline. Every scene you see with Jack and Diane, oh, I seen a crew outside the house. Oh, we're remodeling. Oh, I don't know about this. Listen, it's a damn house. I understand he like things to be the same, but I'm sorry. I agree with Diane. I'm not being married to somebody living in somebody's house from 1972. I'm not doing it. It ain't going down like that. It's 2025. We ain't about to sit here with furniture from the Ronald Reagan era. It ain't happening. Like, no, get rid of this. I could listen. I would put. You know how they did back in the day? They put a damn yellow sticker on everything that needed to go. That whole goddamn house would be yellow stickered up. It would be so many tags on everything in that house. I swear to God, I would have a yard sale for that entire house. You know how much money I would make? Everything must go. And I do mean everything. Mrs. Martinez can go too. She old. She can go. Ain't no way in the damn world that lady's still up in that house cleaning like that. Ain't no way. And she got to be 80. They don't. Matter of fact, that lady got to be 90 because did she take care of them when they was kids?
No, it was Mamie.
So when Miss Martinez got up in there?
Maybe pass the torch. Miss Martinez.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what decade did she come in?
She came in, I think, around, I want to say the early 2000s ish. Next to what, Estella? Estella was the Newman maid, if you remember her.
So that means Mrs. Martinez been there roughly about 25 years then.
But I think Miss Martinez and Estella, weren't they like friends, like off-screen friends or something?
I think so, but listen, everything in that house must go. Everything in that house must go.
Because the Newmans don't mention Estella no more. But then again, I think it was Adam.
The Newmans
Adam was
don't
sleeping
even
with her nephew at the time to get out of prison charges.
The Newmans don't even mention, but the Newmans don't even mention Bonnie anymore. Remember Bonnie? She worked in the original
dog,
Newman
right?
house. No, I said Bonnie, the maid. Remember Nikki would come in and say, "Oh, Bonnie, can you pack this up?"
I don't remember Bonnie. I remember Zapato, the family dog.
No, I'm talking about the maid, Bonnie, the housekeeper. I think she had a blonde hair or some mess like that. She was something. I remember her. I remember when Nikki was packing up her shit after one of her mini breakups with Victor. Had to be 2010, I want to say. Bonnie was up in there packing up her shit. I remember that. They don't talk about her no more. But yeah, the Abbotts have been reduced to literally nothing. Like all they talking about is redecorating. Jack walking around every day with these damn $5,000 suits on, like this man don't own a pair of jeans. Like, you mean to tell me you don't dress down? Like you just wear suits every day? Even when you're not at the office? Or you just sitting in the mansion in a suit? That don't make no sense. But yet we've seen Victor plenty of times in blue jeans.
Now, Albert, let me ask you this. Albert, let me ask you this here. What was in your thoughts of the Nate storyline here?
I mean, here's the thing. I like the fact that they're bringing in a new character. I think that Damon's reasoning for distancing himself with Amy was pretty harsh and kind of dumb on some level. Like, okay, yeah, maybe you were 16 or whatever, but at some point, this dude is like at least a good, like maybe 39, 40. Like, did you not sit there and think, like, the woman is dying? Like, how much of how much of an asshole do you actually have to sit there and be like, I know you're dying, but you're in good hands. I'll let you just kind of hang out with Nate. It's hard. And I like dark storylines, but that's pretty harsh, even for me. But I do like the fact that he brought in a new character, though.
I think the whole guy's gonna last longer. Go ahead, Kyreese.
His reason was complete bullshit, though. I mean, you're telling me you hate your mother because she had to work? I'm like, I hate to break it to y'all, But look at your skin. Look at your skin color. Y'all not white, so therefore we gotta work. If you're
That
not
was
on
funny.
six,
Yeah, your mother because she had
not
to work.
on whatever else. Like like we're not. If you're black and not in the 1%, we got to go to work. So you damn right. Times is tough out here. We need 2 jobs, sometimes fucking 3. So therefore, like the fuck out of here, Damien. We do not have time for you to be having a white man's problem. Okay? Yeah, your mother had to go to work. Yeah, your daddy was dying. Yeah, yeah, she said. But, no, the lady had to go to work. So once he told me that, I'm like, Damien, I like you, but I'm over that bullshit. You better cut that shit out. I'm like, that's the best that Josh Griffith could come up with. He need to be out the door. That was some bullshit I have ever heard a black man say. I ain't never been more disgusted.
Now, Sammy actually
Had to go to work.
has a good question. He says, "What enemy does Phyllis and Sharon share?" Now, I'm still new to the show, so I'm gonna sit there refer to y'all as far as what enemy do both of them actually share.
Shit.
Ian Ward, I guess, but that's just lazy.
Very. But it is JG, of course.
So yeah, so that's what I'm figuring. It's probably gonna be
Avery, Phyllis's sister. I don't even know. I don't even know what that could even be.
Well, that's plausible because Sharon and Avery didn't get along too tough. I don't recall either because of her and Nick. So I don't think Avery and Sharon got along that much. I think they were cordial, weren't they cordial?
I know they have a mutual enemy. Like yeah, like Sharon and Avery were cordial, so I don't know what the mutual enemy would be here. Honestly,
Yeah, I don't know. What about that?
JT Hellstrom.
Nah, he already got his coma.
He did.
Yeah.
He got his
What
removed.
about that girl? What about that girl? What's her name?
Grace, but Grace was Sharon's enemy. She had nothing to do with Phyllis.
Yeah, but Grace was a little basket case when it came to Nick, though. Maybe she was still upset about.
Oh yeah, they
Nick.
both have Nick in common. That's right.
Yeah, she could still be. She every time she come up around town, she still hung up on that man.
What if it's because it could be 2 people involved? Because remember with Sharon, we didn't even know with Sharon's case it was 2 people involved in that whole thing. So what if it's one for each? What if it's Grace, and then what if it's the guy Brian Hamilton that Phyllis lied and said was Danny's father in the beginning, or something like that? I know something like that in the beginning.
Honestly, I just find this story to be so stupid because after the whole Ian Ward Jordan situation, why are we dealing with another little scandal right now? Why are we dealing with this?
Yeah. What if it's Ian and Jordan?
Who?
What if it is Ian and Jordan?
I don't like
that would be horribly lazy. Horribly lazy, even for JG. That would just be horrible on his. Like I swear to God, whatever petition is out there to fire that man, I will sign it twice. Hell, I signed it 5,000 times because if that's the story he's on with, if that's the story that man is on with,
I started a petition for that. By the way, I do got a petition to fire Josh Griffith after I found out that bullshit rewrite talk about Summer adopted Harrison. Get the hell out of here! Taylor would never sign her rights away. So the second he did that was the second I started that damn petition.
But that's not so unbelievable though that she adopted.
Yes, it is unbelievable. Summer ain't signing shit away, so therefore Summer ain't no damn mother. Summer is selfish as fuck on a good day. So therefore,
that was a bad rewrite though. I mean, at this point in the game though.
What?
I don't think that was a bad rewrite though, especially this stage in the game. I mean, Summer is the only mother I know for Harrison. I know there was Tara, but like she's years ago.
Please. Summer is not that boy's mother. She will never be that boy's mother.
I felt like that was just a lazy way to give her an opportunity to try to get custody, to explain it. Because lazy. I don't see Tara, the character that we've been introduced to, I don't see Tara easily handing that boy over like that without Kyle going to see her and they having a conversation. I don't see her easily doing that. And I'm pretty sure if she did do that, it was a big ass check attached to it.
Now let me add something here, guys. Just really quick with the Nate storyline is one thing I noticed the storyline was missing was Olivia. Like it's just so weird that his mother Olivia is like not even a phone call to confirm a voice or something about this. That's the thing with the Winters Hastings, Johnson, Barber, Hamilton clan. You know, I like to do that on purpose. Because why is the only black family here is the ones with 5 different last names? But the point I'm trying to make here is with them is that there's no. It was weird that Nate didn't even consult his mother on this aspect. Like no one here besides Lily and Devon, but they don't really know the history of his father. So it was just very weird in a sense. Now Catley says, "What if this is about Nick? They're both his exes. Maybe it's about him." Yeah, we did say that earlier, Catley. We do feel like that's connection between that storyline with that. But with the Nate thing, I just feel like it was weird that Olivia was not brought in. I mean, they could at least. I know the actress does not want to do soaps anymore, but I would have been okay with a phone call, a voice. Like I would have been okay with some kind of a voice or something like that in that sense. Now we have to talk about B&B. I'm gonna turn this over to Bob Enterprises.
I don't mean to do that, but I've been trying to bring this up for a while.
Go ahead, Kyreese. Go ahead.
Albert and I have been having this debate for quite a while now. So I really wanted to know what Brocktv stance is on this. So a few months ago, when Ridge found out about the Foresters takeover, and he was mad as hell with Hope. Now, right in front of Brooke, he said, "Oh, here's the great Hope Logan. You know what you are? You're a nasty little bitch." He said that right in front of Brooke. Now, me personally, I'm here for it because I just feel that, well, first of all, she is a nasty little bitch. Secondly, she was acting like a nasty little bitch. So if she was acting like what she is, like what else was he supposed to say? Because Albert, my good friend here, is always saying how men on this show lack testosterone or masculinity or lack any force to say anything. They always have to play passive and stuff. If stealing your company right out from under you, all over some petty ass crap that Hope could have cleared up herself, that she was wearing that little lingerie for Carter, and Steffi wouldn't have fired her if you would have just said that. Because you
know Rich did that. Oh, wow.
Huh?
I didn't know Rich did that and said, "Oh wow, oh my goodness."
Yeah, he did. He called her a nasty little bitch. But I don't think it was that wrong for him to say that. I don't care whether it was Brooke was there or not. Like,
you see, like one of the comments says from Laura B, Rich calling Hope a bitch wasn't called for, but so was the Hope stealing the company, right? Didn't she steal the company after that? So was that called for?
I believe so.
So Brock. Okay, so that's a question for you. What do you think of that?
I think it was justified. I mean, it should have. Don't get me wrong. It should have came from somebody else other than Rich. Right message, wrong messenger. Other than that, I ain't had no problem with it because I really don't like Hope. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just gonna be very honest here. When it comes down to Bold and Beautiful, I don't know shit that's going on with that show other than what pops up on my timeline. That's all I know. I do not watch that show whatsoever. It pops up on my feed. I read about it a little bit, and I'm like, oh, okay, same shit. Okay. But I remember the day that particular thing popped up, and I was laughing about it because it was about time somebody finally called her out without, sugarcoating or without coddling or whatever. I was cool with it, to be quite honest. Like I said, I would prefer if it came from somebody else, but it needed to be said.
Albert, what about you?
I mean, I already sat there and said it. I'll sit there and say it again just for FCs. I like I said, I felt like it's out of pocket to sit there and call somebody else's daughter that. Like I don't care if they're grown, they're in their 40s or whatever. I still feel like it was just out of pocket to sit there and call somebody else's daughter that. Because even Ridge afterwards was like, okay, listen, I was mad, I was angry, and yes, what she did was wrong, but I did kind of like take it too far. That's just my opinion on it. That's my opinion, and I stand by that.
I wouldn't have been. I just wouldn't have been passive about it though. So I could really understand what he's saying. Like, I think for me though, what it is with Albert's stance of him saying that he would just play that, well, Hope, I'm just very disappointed with you because I helped raise you and stuff like that. That's just coddling what she did to an extent. To me, like, it doesn't feel like, it feels like you overshadow what Ridge said that makes it like Hope taking that, helping Carter take that company was no big deal sometimes. Sometimes.
Okay.
So that's, I feel so strongly about defending Ridge on that one, because it's like, yeah, he said that in the anger, but it's like,
But he raised Hope as a daughter at one point.
Mm. Yeah.
but she
I
stole
mean,
his
like I said,
man.
like I said, I get it. Things happen. You get angry, and you get to that point where you get upset, and you fly off the handle and you say things. And I get that. I've been there. But I'm not sitting there saying that's right. I'm sitting there saying, like, that's human, right? Like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, well, you should sit there and just be blase, blase, blah about it. Yes, that's a natural reaction. But I'm not going to sit there and say what he said was right. And I don't want to sit there and make it seem like, okay, so like I get what Laura B. Smith is saying, but I also get the heat in the moment. People are human. We say things, we're fallible, and you know what? Shit happens, but it doesn't make it okay. So I'll just sit there and put it that way. How about that way? What you got that look, DC? What's that
No, I have no
look?
look. I have no look. So, guys, I know as we are getting ready to close and wrap up for
I
tonight.
do want, yeah, and
Go ahead.
I do want to sit there and ask a question since we actually did do B&B. I want to sit there and ask people, and I'm gonna sit there and start with Brock. You know, you've been in the game the longest, and in a lot of ways, you actually inspired pretty much all of us. So I'm gonna sit there and start with you. If you could sit there and add something different to your channel besides, you know, what you normally do, what would it be?
I don't know. I was thinking about a lot of like primetime type shows. Like starting to do that maybe, but I'm not too sure yet. Because I was thinking about streaming shows, but the iffy thing about streaming was I would have to like find a way to structure it because they drop all the episodes literally in one go. Normally Netflix, because Netflix got a lot of good shows, but they drop them in one go. So I'm still trying to like figure out how I want to go about that. Like
Okay.
do a review all in one, like the whole season, or so I'm still trying to figure out how I would want to do that.
I mean, and that's I guess that's just a part too, like because you know you do your reviews every day. I do my reviews every day. There's a certain structure of how you do it per episode, as opposed to how you do it for the whole season. Like
Yeah,
DC,
because
you know, he'll sit there exactly. He'll do a whole week in like one review. So like would that be a little more difficult, or would just be different, or?
it's different. It can be a little difficult, maybe, but it's different because you like again with these shows, streaming shows, you got 10 episodes. All the episodes are probably 40, 50 minutes. So it's a lot to cover. You know what I mean? If you're, you know what I mean? So it's kind of, it can be a little difficult, but it could be a good thing as well. It just depends on how you want to structure it, how you want to do it.
Kyreese, if you had to sit there and add one other thing to your channel besides what you normally do, what would it be?
Maybe some audiobook stuff like that, like with the books that I'd be working on, then I could probably like put some audiobooks or do like chapter by chapter overviews, and maybe get like some co-hosts involved. And I think that would be a lot of fun to do one day, and to expand upon that LGBT series and stuff like that. So
Blackmon says, no, we don't want to end all this chocolate is from year 4. Lord have mercy. Well, thank you, Blackmon. Thank you. Appreciate
and
that.
You agree that Maxie Jones is better at business than Victor Newman? I'd rather do business with Maxie Jones than Victor Newman at this point because
Well, I will say this: Victor is he's right on some things that he say and do because, and I say that because as far as business goes, he's not completely wrong. You have to be ruthless. You got to be tough. You know what I mean? You can't be, you know, soft when it comes to business because people they see that and they will use it to their advantage to get over on you. So I see why Victor is as tough as he is in business. But I would also incorporate the way Maxie does business because Victor, the way he do business, he does it to be petty. Like he'll take over Jabot or anything just to be fucking petty. He don't need the company, but he just want it. Whereas Maxie does business because it's good business. You know what I mean? Um, so I would incorporate both instead of one over the other. I would incorporate both of their styles, just in different ways.
Have a night, Laura B. DC,
Mm-hmm.
what if you had to sit there and add something to your channel that's different or whatever? What would it be?
Okay, I was thinking about that as you asked it earlier, because I feel like most things my channel, like the character analysis thing, something I've always wanted to do, and I started doing that. I have considered prime time. I tested the waters under that Love Victor review. I didn't get the numbers that I wanted, so I don't know.
You
That was
know
my
what it
test
is?
pilot.
You
What
know
was
what it
that?
is, DC? I'm gonna tell you like this. When you first start out with a new series, let me tell you something. You can have one series where you can get 5,000 views, 10,000 views a day on it. But then you start something new and you're only getting like 200, 300. Because you know what? I would tell you if you're passionate about the show, like you really love talking about it, I would say continue to do it because you got to do what you love to do and then numbers will come.
Right,
So
right,
I would
right.
say, you know, keep doing what you
Okay.
got to do.
I will also say too is that like I have considered more prime times and like kind of what Brock said, the difference of prime time when you're reviewing it is there's a lot that actually happens in an episode. Different from
Yeah.
soaps. That's why soaps is easier for me to review at the end of the week because literally
Yeah.
most of the stuff is really happening come like Wednesday to Friday, and I could
Yeah.
sum it up right then and there. But the thing is that with prime time, like there's a show I was watching called Brilliant Minds, right? There's so much that happened in every single episode now. Unless I do an overall analysis of the show, but if I'm trying to break down the plots, that might be a little bit tougher. But one thing I will say I want to do different on my channel is I want to try to infuse a little bit more consistency. I know I'm busy with school and everything, but I would like to because I feel like my channel can really grow and get like it's almost to 1K. And I feel like it's like teeter-tottering between 960. It'll go back down to 958. It'll be at 960 and 968. I feel like if I had just a little bit more consistent, like maybe every 2 weeks instead of like once a month, I would see these numbers rise up because I just feel like at this point, doing this for 3 years, I should be at the 1K mark. Like I feel like my time should be there. So that's one thing I would like to infuse, and just I think a little bit more engagement um, with the channel. But like I said, I know that's tough. Like even now, I have spring break, but I can't do anything on my channel because like I'm going out of the country tomorrow. So it's like I can't I don't have the time. It's like it's always something is popping up, and it's like damn, like this is a time I could really put some stuff out, but. What are you
Are
gonna
you
do?
going on a
I'm
cruise?
trying.
Are you going on a cruise?
Yes.
Ah, you're another cruise person. Okay. Yep. Yep. I have mine. I have a Caribbean cruise planned for April.
Oh,
So I'll be gone for 8 days.
8 days. Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
So I'll be
You'll
gone for
get
eight
tired after
days.
the fifth day, I promise.
No, because you know what? I got excursions planned for almost every day that I'm gone.
Okay. Keep you
So I'm
company.
gonna be yeah, I'm gonna be doing excursions and stuff like that. Because we're going to a lot of different islands like Turks and Caicos and
All that kind of stuff. Yeah.
yeah, so I'll be in St. Thomas and Nevis and St. Kitts. I'll be in all those different areas. Um, but I agree with you. It is going to be hard when you're out of the country to do something because I've been trying to figure out, and I've been battling with this ever since I booked the cruise last year.
Hmm.
I was like, so am I going to be? Because I'm gonna be going that whole like even during the week. So I'm like, am I uploading? How I'm gonna do that? I'm like, am I
But the thing
going to
is,
do
Brock, if
that?
you take 1 week off, I don't feel like your channel take a hit, but mine has been like
Well,
almost like weeks and weeks and weeks off and weeks
yeah,
off. So
I
it's
mean,
like,
but see that, and that's not something that I've ever thought about. You just brought up something I never thought about. about a channel taking a hit. I'm gonna tell you like this: I never think about stuff like that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I never thought I don't think about numbers at all. I don't even look at who the hell I don't even look at how many subscribers I have.
That's probably healthier. That's probably a healthy way to look at it.
I don't look at it. I mean, I appreciate everybody that do subscribe. I just never really pay any real attention to that because
Why? No, it's like why?
Because I do what I do because I just love to do it. You know what I'm saying? I just love doing it. If I'm doing a show, I just like talking about the show.
But what if some people look at the numbers, not so much like, oh my God, I want people to like it and I can be a famous YouTuber, but like in a sense of like, I want to know that people are actually engaging.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If you are your authentic self and you are doing what you love, it comes through. Like it shows people. You know what I'm saying? My thing about it is I would promote the video if that's what you want to do. Like you want to get more people to look at it. I would like put it out there on Instagram or Twitter or something like that and put the hashtag in there and stuff like that just to boost it.
Because I will say that this is one of the reasons why I've been consistent with Soap Sanctuary for 3 years because, and I talk about this all the time when I've talked about it probably you guys before, it was like the reason why when I first started this channel it was going to be like a regular YouTuber channel, life advice, the kind of thing. My brother was like, man, everyone's doing that shit. Do something else. He's like, why don't you do soaps? And I was like, okay, I'll do soaps instead. And like, I noticed that was something I've been able to be consistent with because I don't have to find the content in my life. The content is already out there for me in the soaps.
Yeah.
And that made it so much more easier. And I was able to do these top 10 videos, these character analyses, these different things with it to keep it because sometimes it was kind of tough for me to do a review where I couldn't pop in on a storyline or something like that. But this was the thing I was able to be consistent with because I do honestly love soaps. And this is the only, because I don't know anybody in my life that watches soaps, by the way. I'm like the only person I know. Like, besides you folks here on YouTube and Albert's, like I don't know anybody else. So this is why I can never let Soap Sanctuary go. Like, even though I'm really busy at school, we're in internship, doing all this other stuff, this is like, and I miss this because this actually is like a release for me. Because right now, like, I am like overwhelmed. My grad school experience is not like it's different because I'm not just balancing my mental health, but that of other people's. And sometimes I need this escape of Soap Sanctuary. So sometimes I have these moments where I did a video earlier today. It reminds me like, man, like this is my safe space here, So I miss that at times. So I really want to pour more into that because it's a release from everything else that's kind of going on around me. And I kind of miss the opportunity to be able to connect with people. But to answer your original question, if I would do something different, what I would just essentially do is honestly, just a little bit more of a consistency. Like maybe instead of one video, like at the end of a month, because always like once it gets to the 1 month or 2 month, I have a video, I hit right on that mark, but I'd like to do something a little bit more frequently because I think this is a good way for me to connect with people. And also what I've learned is what I'm doing my channel is not overthink it too much because I got too many graphics and intros and that makes it take so much longer and 10 hours editing time. Like maybe just cut back on that so I can just be able to just do these videos and then have fun with it. So that's my take on that. Okay. What about you, Albert?
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I'm already starting to do reaction videos and stuff like that. But if I had to sit there and add something else, I honestly tell you the truth, I think it would be Hollyoaks. I want to sit there and start doing reviews on Hollyoaks because I've been watching that for about like 2 or 3 weeks and like, oh, this show is really good. And it's only 3 days a week. Well, I mean, DC and D.O.O.L have been sitting there trying to like get me into it for like a couple of years now. And I'm like, I started watching. It was like, yo, this show is actually really good. It's 20 minutes. It's 3 episodes. Like, yeah.
Hollyoaks is my shit. That and Coronation Street. I love it. But my thing is though, Hulu fucking took them off, so I've been having the damnedest time of finding them.
Hulu, it doesn't have Coronation Street on Hulu anymore?
No, the licensing agreement or something like that. I guess they didn't get it renewed, or so I've been missing the hell out of it this year and last.
So no EastEnders for you, Brock? No EastEnders?
I watched it a few times. I lost consistency with watching it, so I kind of fell off.
It didn't hold you?
No, because I'm trying to watch everything, and it's like hard for me to keep up with everything because I'm trying to like keep up with all the international stuff that I watch. Like Hollyoaks, Coronation Street, I'm trying to find those. They're hard without Hulu. Then
Generations.
Yeah, when I can freaking find it, because every time I go to look for it, it's already off. Like it's.
But Hollyoaks is actually on YouTube, though. That's how I'm able to sit there. Hollyoaks is on YouTube.
The whole thing. So the recent stuff is on YouTube.
Well, it's like a week behind for Hollyoaks, but it's free. You can watch it literally on YouTube. Like there's actually a channel you can go to and just watch it.
I'm gonna have to find it.
For Generations, though, if you do SABC, well, I had to get a VP. I got to get one of those VPNs. So I did $5 a
Yeah.
month for it just to watch View TV because they stream Generations stuff like that on there and Hollyoaks and all that stuff. And I can watch it right then and there. So all my international shows in one place.
Like, what is the app?
So it's called Unlocker. It's a VPN I had to use. So that way I could watch like Hollyoaks. I can watch Generations. I can watch EastEnders right from the sites.
Like, do you have to like go like you got to Google it, or is it like a straight up app?
It's an app you download on the computer. They charge a subscription fee. I think it's like $5 a month, but it lets me watch all my shows because it was complicated watching the Daily Motion. There was a zoom in on Hollyoaks and this is here and that here. But now Hollyoaks is on YouTube, so I guess I don't need for Hollyoaks, but I still need for EastEnders though. So
yeah, because I've been dying. Yeah, because I've been dying to find out what the hell's been going on Generations. Because I haven't, I got to the part where Jack Mabasso came back and I was excited about that, and I've been trying to figure out what the hell going on with Kabisi and everybody. I'm like, what the hell going on? Whatever happened to their house?
What was that?
What happened to the Maraca house? What happened to that?
I don't know. The show has become very unrecognizable, but we'll get a chance to get into that at some point. We'll get into that at some point.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Albert.
Thank you, DMV. Well, I was going to sit there. First of all, thank you, DMV. I was going to sit there and say, well, Hollyoaks, like it's literally on YouTube. So I'll DM you the channel on YouTube. But
now a show been underrepresented tonight that I wanted to talk about, especially since it's in the title, Days of Our Lives. Days of Our Lives.
Oh, snap.
So let's start with Amy Choi. How do y'all feel about
shit.
Amy Choi taking an active I feel like my first impression of her, she was an overbearing mother, but I'm starting to see the real human side of Amy Choi, and that she's been right all along. But what do you think about that storyline? I'll start with Brock.
Whose storyline?
Amy Choi over there on Days of Our Lives.
Do you watch Days of Our Lives, first of all, Brock? What's good, Nathaniel?
I watch it very seldom nowadays because that body and soul shit was getting on my nerves. And then I heard that they finally ended that. And I've been seeing like bits and pieces, but all them storylines I'm trying to get into, but it's like I fell off.
How about you, Albert? What are you thinking about Amy Choi, the latest?
I mean, here's the thing. I would sit there and say this. I know because she had like this hardcore religious background, there was gonna be a lot of people that didn't like her, and that was like your initial like reaction. But like you said, Kyreese, she's not making a lot of sense. And yeah, I mean,
she's a sound character.
Exactly. There's some people that don't believe in the necessarily as hard religion as her. But I think she's been pretty fair though. But what's good, Nathaniel? What about you? DC? I totally forgot about it.
I like Amy Choi a lot. I don't like the Sophia recast. When I saw that, I was like, she got recasted. I was like, what the heck?
Are you talking about the girl? That. So that's the girl that
that's having the baby with Tate.
Tate, right?
Yeah, she's having the baby with Tate. She's having the baby with
Tate.
See,
I know the character. I don't know the actress. I don't know her name.
I can't really recast Sophia. Why do they always recast Sophia? These storylines? I hate that.
Because shit happens behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is
the old Sophia, but I have to get used to this.
The old Sophia decided to quit, though.
Oh, she did?
Oh.
Yeah, she quit. It was by her choice to leave. And this was the second, and this was this, because this Sophia, what I found out, this Sophia was actually originally auditioned to be the role of Sophia to begin with, but she was chosen, but the other actress was chosen over her. So when the other actress left, they decided to call.
Look at God for her case.
I feel that this new actress, she ain't doing it for me. She just don't have that star presence that the other Sophia has. She doesn't have the charisma. she's just robotic to me and basic. And I'm like, this is who Holly was competing with? I don't think so.
This is the reason probably why she wasn't picked to be Sophia in the first place. See, this is the reason why.
I ain't
Exactly.
gonna lie though, the little bit that I have been seeing of the teen scene on this show, it ain't grabbed me. The teen scene really did nothing for me, other than the new Douglas or whatever, little
Yeah,
Douglas.
Doug the
I
third.
like his character. He got a little bit of his grandfather in him. He a little devilish. Like he could be a
I
little
like the teen
skeevy,
scene though on days. I feel like it kind of reminds me a little bit of One Life to Live and their teen scene. One Life to Live was the only show besides Guiding Light from the 80s that did a teen scene right. Every other show just never got it right after that, I felt like.
I don't know. General Hospital back in the day had a nice little teen scene back in the day with Jason and all of them.
Okay. I can give you that. I can give you that.
I was real young watching that too, but I did like their teen scene though. That
And
kind
then,
of that was pretty cool for back then.
and then DC, what did you think about the Jada storyline that's going on with Jada and Rafe?
I just can't give that storyline any attention. It's too cartoonish for me. Like
It
this time
is.
of days, it's like when a storyline gets too cartoonish, I can't even take it seriously. To be honest, at that point, I feel like it's not something that I find myself remotely interested at any capacity. Really, you're going to say something though? You're going to say something?
Oh no, no, I was gonna sit there and say, Nathaniel, I saw on Instagram you sent there getting ready for your new role. He did sit there and mention it before he's gonna be on another show. So I saw him getting ready for his new role during his I don't know what they call that on Instagram, like the posts or whatever, or the stories or whatever. So definitely support him and SWAT. I'll just sit there and say that now. But as far as the whole Rafe and it seems like it's just going to be so annoying because now they're going to sit there and be badgering the real Rafe since they're saying that he's Arnold. Meanwhile, yep, see Janet saw it too. Meanwhile, like the real Arnold's like shipped God knows where, so it's just going to be like I feel like they're just going to drag that part out. Like Arnold was fun to watch. Oh, there we go. The thing I said that was filming just posted some silly stuff. Nothing more, man. Get back to talking about your stuff. No, I just want to sit there and shout you out. But like other than that, shit. Other than that, it was just like it just seemed like they're just gonna drag it out. I will say this much though, because I know DC. Well, I know DC and I know Brocktv and I know Kyreese. How did you feel about the body and soul stuff?
I could not stand Body and Soul storyline. Like honestly, like I was trying to give it a chance in the beginning, but then once they casted Bonnie up in there, I'm like, get the hell out of here with all that. Once she coming up in there, like Kate said, that turned into the community theater of Salem really quickly instead of some soap opera behind a soap opera. Like Bonnie just was the death of that. Honestly, that was the final straw.
For me, the stuff that I did like was the fact that like that stuff does happen. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at like a lot of the stuff in the body and soul stuff, like that stuff does go on behind the scenes, like the whole, death threats and like the name calling and just all that stuff, all the negativity that goes on, like that, Stephanie was saying, Joy, by the way, I know you on Instagram or whatever, but like these people are gonna come at you sideways. Like that stuff happens. So I did like the little peeks and windows about the stuff that does go on behind the soap stuff that you don't know about. The fights, the diva stuff, the affairs and all that. That's real stuff that does go on that did happen in soap operas. So I can appreciate that.
Honestly, the body and soul stuff should have been a couple of weeks tops, and they should have
Mhm.
left it alone. I would have been cool with it if it was like 2-3 weeks maybe, but after that, they should have left that alone. That's not meant to be months and months and months. No, they
Because to
dragged
be
it.
honest with you, that's the reason I stopped reviewing Days of Our Lives because of that Body and Soul. Like that was just like I'm like I can't do this.
But
It's
since
just
Carvelotti is not leaving, I think his last episode will be like in April or something. I'm curious to know what this new head writer is going to bring because I was kind of getting tired of Carvelotti's writing. I was going to be
He's
kind of tired of
good.
it.
He's good when he first starts out. I feel like Ron comes in strong. but I do feel like he starts to burn out quickly. Like he starts to do that campy shit, and I'm just like, all right, he does camp well, but he becomes too cartoonish with his writing. It starts to look very buffoonish and like all over the damn place. Like he don't know where he going, and it's like he doesn't really pay attention to the history of things. Like he doesn't go by history too much. He just tries to put his little spin on some shit, and I'm like, come on now, you
I
doing
actually
too
think he
much.
honors history actually a lot.
To an extent, but some of the writing that I've seen him do, it doesn't really go to certain history. It depends on what character he's dealing with. But they don't really give a nod to history sometimes with some of the writing that he does. It's like, all right, what are you doing? Like you're not going like you're writing this character a little bit too out of the box. It's cool to write him out a little bit, write him a bit differently. That's fine. But he, I think, takes characters a little bit too far out. And I'm like, you getting a little bit too much. Like I said, he comes in strong, but I feel like he's better off as like a breakdown writer or something like that, head writer. I feel like it's not his strong suit.
Yeah, that Connie storyline was dreadful, wasn't it, Albert?
I mean, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Like I can't even sit there. I can't even sit there and put a positive spin on that. It was bad.
Like, you see, Connie gave me like good trolling material to get under Albert's skin at first, so that's why I kind of found Connie funny, just to know that at 8 o'clock when Albert comes on, I could just say a whole bunch of things about Connie that I know is gonna get him all all riled
That's
up.
what
But
this is why I rock with Kyreese. This is why I will rock with Kyreese for life.
just to be petty. But then, but after a while, then I had to actually start looking at Connie's scenes, like when I'm supposed to be reviewing the show, and then I'm like, oh hell no, this is how this woman really,
What was
truly is.
Connie again?
Connie, the 300 plus pound woman, around that one,
Jesus Christ.
the
What
one
was
that,
Lee Shin?
that killed Lee Shin, yeah, that one.
Lee Shin that was a good looking man. Man, that was a good looking
Yeah,
man.
well, Connie killed it.
She was a good
Isn't he
looking man.
on another show? Isn't he on another show? By
On
like Tyler
BT.
Perry or something like that.
Yeah, BT. Yeah, Sisters, I think it is. That was a good looking man. They messed up killing Lee Shin up because I feel like he just had a lot more potential for the long term on not Wine Our Days. Not me myself confused. On Days, he had a lot of potential, but I think they cut him off too early. Personally,
But DC, what are you feeling about Ava and Brady as a couple? Like, I feel like
Let
it's
me
just so forced. But what do you think?
Dolly's
let
got a comment here. You want? Go ahead. You want to read it?
Yeah, no, I'll read it. Domac said the thing with Ron is he's a strong, ideal man, but he needs someone to help rein him in.
I
Yeah.
think that's the thing with Carvelotti because like even just mentioned right now, asking me about Ava and Brady, which it's hard for me to be invested in any of the storylines right now on Days. GH, I'm invested in the storylines. Weiner, kind of, sort of, and then the Gates. I'm actually invested in all storylines. The Gates. Gates feels very bright, very vibrant, very like
It's light.
modern. I don't feel
It's
like
new.
it's like flowers in the attic vibes of these mansions, how they look. It's just very different. So I feel like it's and you have Carvelotti and Guza and Michelle Valjean and all these people working together. And I'm like, this is an interesting combo here. And Carvelotti, you're right, Brock. He does start out strong and then it just goes flat. It goes really, really flat. I mean, it was kind of like that with GH. He started out strong and then it started to go really flat. And I think that for me, I want to see soaps actually write decent storylines again. I actually want to see them. Like, I hope the Gates can spark more soaps to come, to be honest. I don't know if it will do that, but I know that the Gates probably would not have gotten here if they didn't have the NAACP, the funding, all these different factors behind them, because Procter & Gamble is trying to get out the soap business.
Yeah.
And now they're back in. So this must be really big for them to now do that. And now you can't complain about diversity on the Gates. They got your diversity. So now bring the stories.
Exactly. But that's what I'm loving about them though, because they got the diversity and they're bringing the stories to match. Like the stories are there. They're telling relevant storylines. I'm loving the technology that they're using. Like as far as like showing the real, like you got Chelsea and Kat and all them using social media and FaceTiming and texting and all that stuff because this is what we do. This is what we do.
Yes.
And I'm glad they're showing that. Because I'm like, who the hell don't FaceTime? You ain't got nobody on these other shows video chatting. You got all of them with the same little black phone. On this show, they all got different phone cases, all type of fun phone cases, FaceTime. I'm like, you ain't got none of that shit on them other shows.
Right.
Because I
You don't
remember
know.
an episode of The Young and the Restless, and I think it was a long while ago. Even you reviewed that episode, Brock. So it was a long time ago when
It had to be.
they had say some stupid line talk about, oh, technology is going to phase out in 10 years. You're like, what the hell are you talking about? Technology phasing out in 10 years? Like, that is a very delusional statement because technology is everywhere. I remember that.
Technology is just as big now as it ever has been.
Exactly. But they
It
had
ain't going nowhere.
say that's gonna phase out in 10 years. Like, no, the hell it's not.
Okay. All right. I got a question because it is getting somewhat late, but I do want to sit there and ask a question because we've been doing this as far as YouTubers and stuff like that for quite a while. Kyreese is probably the youngest one in here, but he's been killing the game like we have. So I want to sit there and ask this question to Kyreese first. For any new YouTubers and stuff, you got Nikisha Moore, you got Cat Lady, so forth and so on. What tip would you sit there and give to them, to new people that's come out and that want to sit there and do this?
Just be yourself, because if you try to censor yourself, or don't try to like have your style to please someone else, or don't pay like too much attention to, like what Brock was saying earlier, like to not pay as much attention to the numbers. I mean, I know it's that's hard from time to time, but when you really just focus on your content, then it's just and doing what you want to do, I feel it will help. It will help you establish your own identity. Because like my streams, I always try to just be 100% authentic me. Like I don't care if the majority won't agree. Like if I want to talk about Tracy Abbott 50, 50 times throughout the streams, I'm gonna talk about Tracy Abbott and how beautiful and gorgeous she is from head to toe. I'm gonna talk about that. But you see, that's me. And I think like once you find your voice, you'll truly be happy. And also like do the type of content that you want to do that will make you happy too. Like I know that sometimes I have to do videos to that helps provide the channel a boost, because like I know a lot of people aren't gonna have the time to watch a whole live stream, but I know my style of content I prefer doing the live stream because it takes a little bit more pressure off to just be more natural compared to, because I hate trying to sound scripted. That just doesn't work for me as well compared to that. So that's why I thrive live streaming, and I feel like that's for me. So if your passion is about shorts, making like a 1 or 2 minute video, or 3 minute, well now YouTube expanded it to 3 minutes, but then focus on shorts. But don't try to force yourself to do a 12 to 15 minute video when that's not really what you want to do. Just try to do what's truly for you, not just trying to chase the numbers. Just do what truly is for you. That would be my advice.
DC?
So my advice to new YouTubers is kind of a little bit echoing with what Clarke Industries said, is like doing what you feel is unique for you. Like I know when I started this channel, like I've seen everybody was doing reviews, but I was like, okay, don't have time to reviews. But also like put your own flair and your own spin on what it is you want to do. Like I know for my channel, I love doing the intros. I love putting soapy elements sometimes into my videos, doing some kooky stuff, because that's just me. I love it. And that's like, it makes me excited about my channel. And I love sometimes when I used to do my little skits. So I used to have like all my Haitians and stuff like that. I used to do that. And it's fun because I'm like, I want to have fun with my channel. I was like, there's so many different things I can do with it. And there are models out there. I think you and, Kyreese and Brock and, Albert, there's these models out there, but also find some things that might be unique for you and your element and that work for you. Like my character analysis, I love doing stuff like that. I love doing my videos from this because you guys, I think people can feel it, my energy in my videos. I love it. Right. And I think being able to find your unique voice, just like how Rock has his unique voice, Albert has his, Clarke Industries has his, and I've got all these new people coming in with these new reviews. You got GHNV coming in, GLJ Media, the Anthony Zakar of soaps. And I think only me and Albert know why I gave James that nickname. But you know, he is Anthony Zakar soaps. But you know, I feel like being just true to yourself, and also at the same time, do something that you actually like, because that's what you're going to be consistent with.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest, like I think doing soaps is perfect. If I did any other type of content, I don't think it would have panned out the same way. I just don't, because I've been consistent with soaps my whole life. There's been a lot of things I've been maybe inconsistent with, but soaps has been the one thing I've been consistent with since I was 12 years old. We are still here now, 31. So I'm doing my thing. So, and now my love for is manifested in another form here, which is with this channel. So that's why I just say do what you like, because you'll be consistent with that more than likely.
Now, there's one thing that we forgot to mention this far. It was the thing that was going to drive Albert drunk. I think he knows exactly what I'm talking about too, don't you? Christina Corinthos Davis. So you see, that girl is on my absolute final nerve. Friday's episode, I really wanted to. There's no time like the present when I wanted to go to Port Charles, you know, get me a nice little shotgun and just pow her right in her head on Friday's episode. Because who the hell does she really think she is? Like, who is she stepping to like this? That is Ava fucking Jerome. My Ava on top of that. Like, now, I've done disappeared chicks for less. You see, we will never see Betty on screen again. You want to know why? Because I sent her ass packing. Now, that's right. Sonny Brick talk about, oh, yes, she went back to Mexico. That's the story I made him tell, Sonny, okay? We will never be seeing no Betty again. But Christina, on some real shit, she's really, really pissing me off. Ava did not push you out that damn window, okay? You took your big kangaroo belly ass, pregnant ass, up those stairs with your hot breath in Ava's face, talking all this shit about, you're going to drop this subpoena, you're going to do this, blah, 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 blah. You didn't ask Ava nothing. You came up in there demanding and getting mad in her face. Now, was Ava being a bitch back to you? Sure she was. When she said, you know what? F you with your crazy ass daddy and your mother and your drunk ass mother. So y'all can get the F out of my face with all that. I'm going to have you testify in that court thing. Now, my thing with Ava, though, is why did she get so riled up when Christina said, oh, well, I'm going to tell the court that you killed Connie and switched Morgan's pills. I would have been like, bitch, that's old news, okay? And I got away with it. And ain't nothing your little 5-foot daddy going to do about it anyways, little Puerto Rican short stacks. What the fuck is he going to do to me? Okay? Not a damn thing, because I'm his baby mama. So therefore, and I could talk, and then Ava, she wanted to talk to Sonny. She has the right to talk to Sonny whenever she wants to, okay? She said, yeah, she wanted to make sure he got that email and made sure that Avery's all good and everything's good to go. And Christina's like, you get to spend time with your daughter when I will never get to have my First of all, bitch, that wasn't your daughter to begin with. That was supposed to be Molly and TJ's daughter. Remember that? Oh, you forgot about all that your ass begged to be the surrogate because you can't get a man to save your damn life. Because who the hell would want to hook up with Christina in their lifetime?
Clarke Industries, how do we get from talking about what we wanted to tell YouTubers to Christina Corinthos?
I forgot to curse out Christina by now.
I have to come in at some point and pause you here.
All night long. You knew.
Because you've been going on forever and ever, amen. I'm like, how did we get here?
Because I told Albert in the Keisha stream that I was going to cuss out Christina tonight. And I, you know me, you know I got to be a man of my word. So I just had to let that known that Christina is a pathetic excuse for a woman. And I'm hoping that by the end of the storyline, Christina's either in Ferncliff or in the ground, one way or another. Because why did that fine-ass Brian Craig as Morgan leave this earth, but yet we're stuck with Kate Mansing as Christina. I just
Okay,
don't get.
wait, pause. You mentioned you had to get out Christina. You got the Christina part. You got the Christina part here, Clarke Industries. Now you're talking about Brian Craig. That wasn't part
No,
of the
I just
deal.
that was just the one comment. I'm just saying, Brian Craig, he knows he's cute.
Okay.
So that was my only thing to say about that.
Did you get that out of your system? No, you good now? You good?
Yeah, I feel good.
thought-
I hate Christina, and I'm sorry for what I said about TJ last year. I'm sorry that I said that I wish that TJ got stabbed in his testicle. The kid have no more children. I'm sorry about that because I was on Christina's side at that time, and I realized the error of my ways. Brock was right when he was dragging Christina from the beginning of that story. Brock, you were right. I was just delusional thinking Christina was right, but no. TJ was right about her all along, and so were you. So I just wanted to say that.
Sins are forgiven. Now we're gonna transition to Brock because Brock has to answer what he wants to tell the new YouTubers out there.
Do you remember what that was?
You are forgetting my boy, in the words of Victor Newman.
Hold on, wait, what was it?
The question was, Brock, is what I think it was Albert. The question was, what advice you give new YouTubers, right?
Yes. What advice would you sit there and give new YouTubers that's starting off doing soaps and stuff and whatever? You know?
I'm glad you reminded me because that damn Kyreese, he done took me to so many different levels just a minute ago. I'm like, wait, what? Honestly, I agree with what DC and Kyrie said. You got to be authentically yourself. I feel like you have to pick, what you want to do, basically, whether that be daytime, whether that be prime time, whether that be a reality show, whatever you love to talk about, I say do it. You know what I'm saying? Just grab your phone, grab your camera, whatever you got, click the record button, and be you. People love real. There's still people out here that love real conversation. They love real people. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to pretend to be somebody that you're not just to get views and, do shenanigans just to get your viewership and just to get numbers. You don't have to chase numbers. Be yourself. The numbers will come. You know what I'm saying? Do what you love. It'll come. You know what I mean? You don't want to be that person that's worried about that shit 24/7. It would drive you crazy. Don't worry about what people have to say negatively in your comments. Don't worry about it because trust me, I get the shit every day. Do I care anymore? No. I like to troll people in my comments though. I will say that. Because I can get a little irritated and get a little smart mouth. But other than that, be you. You know what I'm saying? Block people out, block negativity out, and do some content that you really want to do. Just be you.
Okay. I would sit there and say like I do agree with the whole trolling thing, but see the thing is, and I'll sit there and say this now because I don't really give a shit. I won't troll in the comments. I'll troll in the video. I kind of took a page from you in a sense, Brock, on that. I'm not gonna sit there and say I make comment because I want to sit there and give away your secret, but there's certain times I would sit there and troll in the video. But I mean, the most important thing is again to have fun. Because on a level, I do agree with Kyreese. You don't want to sit there and take this too seriously.
No.
This should be fun first.
Yeah.
And anything that comes afterwards is a bonus.
Yeah.
And just as the comment section goes, it's like, here's the thing: we're all gonna sit there and get negative comments. All four of us at one point in time has gotten negative comments, and it's just one of those things that just it comes to the territory. But I always sit there and believe that the good of hanging out with my friends and talking and laughing and stuff like that outweighs all the negative comments and whatever else that you're going to get. So as long as I can always sit there and look at the positive versus the negative, it works out in the end. So that's what I would sit there and say. Just have fun and, not... Because truth be told, it is hard to... If you're going to be honest, it's a little hard to sit there and not take some of those negative comments personally. That's why I always sit there and think about the positive of all the friends I get to hang out with and talk and laugh and stuff like that versus whatever negative comments I get. So that's all I sit there and say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because some
that
people,
that
some people are just
oof.
super miserable and have nothing better to do. And I laugh sometimes because people really don't know what, like, the person that's in front of the camera, they don't know what their day was just like before they press record. They don't know, you could have just got into a bad argument with somebody. You could have just, whatever's going on in your life. You know what I mean? That the people behind their keyboards, they don't know the shit that you just went through that day. They don't know. But they want to be, difficult. So sometimes I'll troll, I'll be a little smart ass sometimes. But other than that, I don't respond at all. Either I'm gonna be a smartass or I don't respond. You know what I mean? But I agree, you can't take it to heart. You know what I'm saying? You can't, because these are people that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? They don't know you. So you got to have fun with it. That's why when I do my videos, I laugh, I joke. Um, I'm sarcastic as hell. Just to be a troll, sometimes I'll be a little sarcastic and say something because I know it's gonna get somebody riled up. And I love it. A part of me love that shit because it's kind of funny. Like I'll be on some Kyreese shit in a minute because his mouth is reckless, and I have to follow suit some days. I'm like, sometimes I gotta do it. I had somebody, actually, it's funny because I think Friday, was it Friday or Thursday, on a Beyond the Gates video, I had somebody trying to talk crazy, and I recognized the person who said it. I kind of recognized their name. And I'm like, don't I fucking know this person? And I look back at some old comments just a month ago where they said, oh, I'm unsubscribing from you. Okay. So I said, didn't you just say you were unsubscribing from me a month ago? Why are you on this video? Like, why are you here getting on my nerves today or trying to get on my nerves? Like, do what you said you were going to do and keep it pushing. Like, this ain't for you. You said you were unsubscribing. More power to you. You know what I mean? Like, you get people that do that, and you just have to roll with it. You got to have fun with the shit. Even the negative people, you got to have fun with that shit. Got to.
It's on another level. I do remember, and I'll sit there and say this, like I do remember like watching your videos back in the day. Like again, that inspired me to sit there and do my videos. But I swear there was one video that you did that I'm gonna be honest. I think I disagree with you, and I went about it in a very immature way. And you did sit there and set me straight or whatever. But like I do remember that. I think
I
it
did?
was something about
Ooh.
it was something about Nina. I remember you saying something about Nina. I don't know if it was the hair color or whatever. And like the thing is, I look back at that, and when I get my negative comments, I was like, oh, remember that day I sat there and went sideways on TV
I
about
don't
Nina out
remember
of all
shit
people.
about that. I really don't remember that at all.
I don't remember that specifically because I always sit there and look at some of the comments and people go at me sideways like, "Oh, you're supporting Drew," da 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 da, and I'm just like, yeah, it kind of takes me back to when I went sideways on Brocktv.
I really don't
I
remember, to be
did.
honest with you.
One of my favorite videos of you, Brocktv, was when Nina first found out that Willow was her daughter and was pleading with her to accept her bone marrow or whatever. He was like, then fuck you too. Fuck you too. That me and Miss Marrow, we ain't coming back here
I
once we
remember
leave.
that. I remember that. I remember that specifically. Yes.
You don't want my marrow then.
No, you sure the fuck don't.
You said,
I'm
tell the
sorry.
little
Throughout that whole story, listen, let me tell you something. I would have let Willow go because she was just acting real funky during that time to Nina. And I remember that time too. And I was like, if I was Nina, I think she was with Sonny at that time. And I was like, I would have told that little man, get his private jet together and let's fucking go. We going on a vacation. Fuck this. Because Willow was just out of pocket with her shit. Like, she was straight out of pocket. I would have just dipped off and went on the island somewhere, had me a drink.
like, grab the little short man Sonny and be like,
I,
get your ass on this jet.
I remember him specifically saying that, but like I just want to sit there and say it in public. But like, I mean, granted, it was like years ago. I think that was like about almost 8 years ago when I first saw you do videos or whatever. Because I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of reckless just being in the comment section, not being a YouTuber and stuff like that. That's why I always sit there and I look at my comments and I'm just like, you, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I was kind of like that person not that long ago. But I do remember coming at you sideways about Nina, and I think it was something about her hair color or something, and I was just being petty that day. So I do remember that.
Yeah, I can't remember nothing of that.
Good, you don't need to. Any final thoughts? I'll sit there and say from we'll start off with Kyreese Clarke.
Well, tonight was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention the character of Rita on Days of Our Lives. What do you think about her? I love her.
Who the hell is
She,
Rita?
she's that Spice EJ Spicy assistant.
Oh, the one that got a smart mouth.
Yeah, she got that smart mouth.
Yeah.
I love that old woman. I'm just saying, she's spicy. What do you think of her?
When I
DC?
first seen her, I liked her
Oh
attitude.
yeah.
I haven't seen much of the Rita character, to be honest. Too, like I said, Days, even with Rachel Blake being brought back from the dead, that was very poorly done, and I was very disappointed how that was done because that was
She need
just
to
like
go back to hell
could have
before it's
been
her
done
time.
so much
I don't know.
more. What was that?
I said she need that Rachel Senior Blake or whatever. She need to go back to hell before it's her time because like she's not working for me at all. Like, I mean, she's supposed to be 90, but her wig is like 180 years old. So like, could she just hurry up and die already? Like seriously, Kristen DeMera's old ass do not need a mother at this point. There's no saving Kristen DeMera.
How do
There's
you bring
no
out Rachel Blake with no Peter Blake? It doesn't
what
make sense. Like, how does it bring out Rachel Blake but no Peter Blake?
exactly. So like, they could miss me with this old lady. Just kill her off already, and let's get back to the better things of life because she's old and worn out. But yeah, but I had a lot of fun here. And yeah, I said everything I said I was gonna say, and then some more. So I'm happy with that.
Okay. DC.
I
Final
thought this
thoughts.
was a great live tonight, honestly. I was happy that we all got the chance to talk. We all got to talk about Beyond the Gates. You know, all of us coming together talking about it. And I have decided that I will give Beyond the Gates an extra 2 weeks now, and maybe even close to a month. You know, so they've earned after this 5 days trial period, they did pretty decent. They did pretty decent. So I'm willing to give them another month. I'm renewing their contract with Soap Sanctuary for another
You
month.
see, you ain't going nowhere. You know damn well you're gonna be watching Beyond the Gates to the end of time. So stop.
Sure
Stop with
will.
all that nonsense. We ain't got time for that because I'm harassing everybody that I know to be watching the gates. Like I just texted my best friend this morning. I was like, I didn't want no excuses that, oh, I don't have Paramount Plus. I said, here's a Cash App. I Cash App you the money.
Oh, you don't even need Paramount Plus. You can use the CBS app, and it's free.
I don't exactly, but she got Paramount Plus now, so therefore she better be pulling that up, and I damn sure will be calling her tomorrow or no later than Tuesday, and be like, so what happened on that episode? Because I put that right in the Cash App note too. I said, and you better watch Beyond the Gates with an explanation point. She know I'm not playing with her ass. She better be watching that Beyond the Gates. And I harassed my mother every day to make sure she watched it. I kept harassing her until she said, "Oh yeah, it's on the DVR. It's on it." I said, "Okay." And then the next day, so did you watch Beyond the Gates? So did you watch the rest of it? I even went over to her house the other day to make sure she watched that first episode in full. Then she's like, "Oh yeah, it was good." And then I was like, "Yep." So you gonna watch the rest of it? Yeah, I watched the rest of it. And then I kept harassing her some more until she watched the rest of it. She called me this morning. About, oh yeah. Oh, I was so embarrassed for Danny for begging for that man. She should have never done that. And then I'm already giving my mom up to dates on who's who and what's what. Like hell yeah, I'm harassing everybody I know to watch the Gates. I'm gonna continue that.
As you should. I actually do support that just because, like, I feel like that show is actually really important for people to sit there and watch and support. Brock, final thoughts on tonight?
I enjoyed this. This is always fun. Kyreese, I'm surprised I did not have to put you in timeout today. Um, That's a shock for once. You semi-behaved yourself. Your little rant wasn't necessary. Anybody got time for that?
Look, Christina needed to be dragged. Okay, every single day.
No, I'm gonna give you that one. I'm gonna give you that one because I don't like the witch anyway. But you need to chill out because you're gonna be on timeout. You was bordering on timeout today.
Oh, you talking about Deanna? That's what you're talking about?
You was this close because I didn't know where the hell you was going with that little story.
Look, he needed to hold her in her arms and tell her how beautiful she is. I mean, that's what he needed to do, and then he was gonna make passionate love to her. Okay.
We ain't got time. We ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
They
Do
ain't got
you
no
think
damn.
Deanna's good looking, Brock?
Yeah, I do. But they
Okay,
ain't got
Brock,
no
what's
damn.
your final thoughts?
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
DC. Because I ain't even got time to go there today. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I enjoyed y'all company as usual. It was good to get everybody's thoughts on Beyond the Gates and the status of every other show because God knows they need to step their shit up in a major way because the way Beyond the Gates did a Cliffhanger Friday, that's how I expect every other show to do their damn Cliffhanger Friday. Give me an actual cliffhanger because I'm gonna be real, their February sweeps wasn't the greatest. It wasn't the best.
Okay. I mean, okay. I guess. All right. My final thoughts. I enjoyed it. Listen, we sit there, we talk about these shows throughout the week or whatever, and the live streams or videos and stuff like that. We all have. Looking at all of us, we all have our own style, our own unique style, whatever, and I think it's great. Like I don't sit there and look at this as like, oh, I gotta sit there and top Brock, or I gotta sit there and be Kyreese and stuff like that. Like Kyreese has his own unique style. He has his own unique subscribers and stuff like that. And seeing him in his element is awesome. And the same thing with DC. He has his character analysis and stuff like that. He has his own style. Brock, you have your own style, and well, I'm just weird. But I love the fact that we can all get together, sit there, and talk about this and have different perspectives on the same soap opera. And I guess I'll quote James, like, 10 people can sit there and watch something, we'll all have a different opinion on it. But it's not necessarily wrong. It's just, okay, that's how you feel. And I'm glad that we can all sit there and respect each other, even if we don't clearly agree on things at times. So it was really great to sit there and have you, Brock, because you inspired me, Kyreese, and DC in a lot of ways. So like technically you're kind of the founding father of this whole thing, like just like how do you feel about that?
Not George Washington.
But you know what I'm saying though, like you did
No, I ain't
inspire
that.
all of us,
I ain't that damn old. Not yet. I got some mileage still to go.
But how do you feel about that though?
Well, I'm glad that I can, inspire somebody to do what they want to do. Help people, come out of their shell or, to do something that they probably didn't think that they could pull off or they didn't think was them, but it really is. You know what I'm saying? Like when I first started doing reviews and stuff, I never thought I would. You know what I'm saying? Like I can have a big personality sometimes, but to do it in front of a camera, I was like, I was a little nervous the first day I did it, but I pulled the plug. I said, fuck it, let me do it. So if I can help anybody do that, I'm happy to help anybody.
Okay. Listen, I want to sit there and thank you, Brock, because I know you've been very busy and stuff like that. It's always it's always great to sit there and have you on. Kyreese, Clarke, you're my guy, you're my right hand man, so I always appreciate you. We will disagree like there's no tomorrow, but at the end of the day, I always respect what you do. And I love sitting there seeing you in your element, just laughing and having a good time with your subscribers and stuff like that, being messy and everything. In DC, you're just awesome. So I always appreciate having you again, just not just watching you do videos and stuff like that, but just also as a good friend though. So yeah, I want to sit there and thank everyone for joining us tonight. This was a hell of a lot of fun. You got 4 handsome black men sitting there talking about soaps and just having a good time doing it. So, yeah. Yeah. So have a good night, everyone. At this point, I don't have to sit there and say subscribe to Brock because I mean, look, probably a third of everyone here tonight is one of Brock's subscribers. But if you're not, definitely subscribe to Brock. Definitely subscribe to my boy Kyreese and DC without question. Definitely sit there and support DC and subscribe to his channel. Even though he's been the Mayor Collins of the soap world, his quality is amazing. So like he's definitely worth sitting there subscribing to.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we'll sit there and see y'all in the next stream. Our videos. Later.
Good night.
Have a good night.